TheQuartering doesn't actually care that much about some of the stuff he talks about. He just makes content that he knows will... Oh my god, TheQuartering is very bad at asking questions. Oh, it's going to be insufferable. Simp! Simp, 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 simp. You're a simp, you're a simp, you're a simp. Okay, Amouranth, you sell your videos as, and I quote, first time sucking BBC. Am I crazy? Is he being a simp or am I just crazy? Oh my god, what? Say something mean about women! That's so surreal. I just literally scrolled down to see what chat was doing. And I'm getting referenced. What's going on? Oh guys, I'm going to be sucking it today. Another plastic bit of knob. Quite the crossover. I was not expecting this. TheQuartering interviewed Amouranth, and apparently he got into some, you know, all the topics you would expect him to. So I figure we'll give this a watch and see what it's all about. I don't know how it happened. It's kind of crazy. TheQuartering presents. Okay, there's a bunch of stuff which could be TOS. What's this? Oh no, I think it's fine. Okay, we're good, we're good. Just normal stuff. Okay, okay, whoa, 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 hang on. Yo! Yo, chill! What the fuck? Hey, where's this from? This looks like porno. Jesus Christ, that's TOS. That's TOS straight away. I can't show it. There's too much fucking nudity.
Hey.
Hey.
We are joined by the famous / infamous / oh, I'm doubling audio. That's me. Rookie mistake. Boomer audio. We are joined by the one and only
oh,
Amouranth.
he misspoke. He's burned it.
Or Kate or Caitlin.
I don't know. I don't know how these two came together. But I saw that they'd spoken. I was like, okay. Let's see what happens. And the title as well. Apparently, he gets into it with her. He gets into the AI stuff, the models,
many names.
All sorts.
Thank you so much for sharing some of your time this Friday with me.
Oh yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me. I'm excited.
Yeah, I think this is going to be an interview that's going to ruffle a little bit of feathers. You know, full disclosure, as we kind of talked a little bit offline, you know, my opinion has changed over the year. I feel like I've made many videos about you, and some unfair, some fair.
Okay, we got to see these videos. Let's go. I'm sensing a bit of Brie Larson energy. Apparently, from what I've heard on the grapevine, TheQuartering doesn't actually care that much about some of the stuff he talks about. He just makes content that he knows will... I mean, he literally goes on Twitter. Like, clearly he's not that passionate about it. He goes on Twitter and goes, what video should I do today, guys? Or what does he say? What's on your mind for videos today? It's fine to get suggestions from, like, what you think you should talk about. But it just seems like he literally is finding whatever topic has got the most popularity to talk about. Like, he doesn't actually care to like, look at it and go, okay, I'm going to look at this today, talk about that. That looks interesting. Right. Twitch ASMR OnlyFans girls just got horrible news. World's richest e-girl Amouranth reveals she has a husband and he's a total monster. Some of these are actually more positive towards her. Hassan and Pokemon destroyed over absurd jealousy at Kick and Rumble by XD Amouranth. Confront us when we're watching. Instant backlash. Female streamers blast Amouranth. Okay, so there's a bit of a mixed bag, I guess, without going too deep into it. But he's actually got some actual positive coverage of her as well.
But now I'm an old man, and my opinion around, you know, my opinion of you has changed from, oh, this is some girl who's getting like thirsty guys, into like, oh my god, this is like a business genius.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, you're very welcome. And
all right,
some
chill
things
out.
that we agree on, some things we disagree on. But I actually think the struggles of content creation in both the sultry variety and maybe the anti-establishment or like non-mainstream opinion are actually pretty similar in that we oftentimes have to monetize.
I think he's just buttering her up, okay? I'm sure he's going to call her terrible things very soon. Don't worry, guys.
In unique ways. And we have to embrace new and alt tech. And 3 months ago, you made a pretty bold move. Moving.
Okay, I will defend Amouranth a bit here. Well, first of all, selling vagina on the internet. I mean, she's famous for like, what was that guy we spoke to? No, we didn't speak to him, did we? It was a Reddit post that I read. And the Reddit posts talk about how like her OnlyFans is a massive like misrepresentation, and she acts like she does all this stuff she doesn't actually do. So first of all, I don't think she's actually selling that. And second of all, I do think that outside of like some of her shittier practices, I do think she actually does have quite a good sense of what's what, right? Like she was kind of a pioneer for the hot tub stuff and so on. I don't know. Amouranth clearly has got something going on to figure this stuff out. But there's definitely like a lot of shitty stuff she's done.
From Twitch. I don't know if it's exclusive or not. I feel
It's
like
not
it is.
exclusive.
Non-exclusive. Okay. And you've embraced Kick now. How have you found that to be? I mean, for obvious reasons, so people out there know, if you're a creator with a ton of subscribers, which a subscriber on Twitch might be $5 a month or 10 or 15 depending. If you're Amouranth, it's probably $75 a month. But if you have all these existing subscribers, Twitch is taking a huge cut of that. Like YouTube takes 30% of super chats. So Kick came in as a new alt tech. I've been excited about Kick for streamers because I viewed Twitch as censorious and biased. You may have also felt the same way, but for different reasons. So I find all these parallels in like in our types of content. So going to Kick, how have you found that transition? Did most of your viewers move over? How have you found? I mean, it's basically, the experience is very similar to Twitch for the viewer, but how have you? Because as somebody who is on Rumble.
Oh my God, TheQuartering is very bad at asking questions. Oh, it's gonna be insufferable. When you are interviewing someone or talking to someone, or trying to have a conversation or get information from someone, it's important to ask clear, kind of efficient questions. Some people have got this habit where they'll go, so how did you find the move to Kick? Because obviously you've got a lot of subscribers already over at Twitch and a lot of people that follow you already. And I see you moved to Kick. I was just interested to know, like, how did that go? Because obviously you've got a lot of people that follow you there. I'm just wondering what the transition over was like. Did you get a lot of people follow you? Do you know what I mean? And they asked like a bunch of like 3 similar questions with a bunch of fucking diatribe in between. All you need to do is go, I saw that recently you moved over to Kick. How was the transition? Let them speak a bit. If you want more clarity, you can ask specific questions to lead the conversation in a certain way. Oh my God, why is he so bad at fucking asking a question?
How have you found that transition and people's willingness to accept a new platform?
I think it's been pretty awesome so far.
Okay, we got it.
The viewer transfer has been more difficult, but I think as Kick becomes bigger and more people are on there who will watch female streamers, that'll change. Because right now it's mostly like the big guy streamers on there. It's not a whole lot of diversity there yet. So the audience is very much either they love.
Okay, I'm not sure about that. If you go to the fucking hot tub section, there's always a bunch of whores streaming in there, isn't there? There's always a bunch of fucking sluts in the fucking. Well, actually, not at the moment. Not actually that many currently.
Females, and it's like a smaller amount, or they're like, no, not my thing, and they're younger and all that. So that part has been a little more difficult, but the website itself has been pretty great to me. Like the staff has been really, really good at listening to things, and they even ask me for advice too, like on like TOS, terms of service for dress code and things, like what makes sense that seems.
That feels good though, doesn't it?
Yeah. And their whole thing is they just want to be able to keep like the app on the app store, right? So they're not against sexy girls or anything like on like a prude level. So they've been like seeking my advice for that. And that's been going really well. The coolest thing though, I think, is their ability to have like a setting. So all those people complaining about gambling or like, oh, I don't want hot tub girls coming to this site too, blah, blah, blah.
They love it though. I find the largest complainers are also the largest consumers.
That's true. They hate watching. And hate fapping. True. So
all fapping is hate fapping.
It is. They have a setting that you can turn off being able to see like gambling and hot tub section if you didn't want, or if you're like a parent with a kid, and you're like, I don't want them to be able to see that. You can just turn it off.
You know what I think about the Gamba outrage though? It's baloney sausage. It's fake outrage. Who cares?
Wait, hang on a sec. Okay, I could be misremembering here, so I'm ready to retract this immediately. Did Amouranth not tweet out about the gambling stuff? I'm pretty sure that Amouranth was one of the people that spoke out against gambling, no? Maybe I'm misremembering. Or was it Pokemon? They all blend into one. They all blend into one for me. I think it was Pokemon. I think I'm mixing them up. Maybe she didn't. Maybe she genuinely just doesn't care. That's fair enough. Also, has Poke's mum moved in yet? Does anyone know?
To be honest, it mirrors the similar outrage of on Twitch, where it's like, oh my God, hot tub girls are invading my video games. Well, okay, but so what if Kick has Gamba ads? I mean, you watch any video you want, you can see ads. You can see. To me, it comes.
Amouranth is too smart to tweet that out, in my opinion. She's a god-tier businesswoman. Simp! Simp, 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 simp. You're a simp, you're a simp, you're a simp.
From a place of, and I won't ask you to name names, and I won't either to put you in a weird place.
Okay.
But there are a lot of people, see how kind I am, but there are a lot of people, that morally virtue signaled about the gambling stuff, but we're also conveniently really tight with the purple company. And I felt like that was, if of all the things you could have complained about, the gambling connection to me did not really resonate with most people like me, because most people are like, oh my God, a competitor? Please. That's, with Rumble, Rumble and YouTube. And, I'm like, I don't care how Rumble is funded. Well, within reason. But, it felt really, how do I say it? There was a level of jealousy there, especially when the way the deals were marketed. And a level of loyalty to a company that probably
just ask a question, dude,
about its creators.
No, they don't at all. Yeah, they've done lots of things to show.
This is what I'm talking about. He doesn't just ask a question, right? What are your thoughts on the people that made a big deal out of the gambling stuff on Kick, but were seemingly silent on some of the controversies on Twitch or something like that? He's just fucking rambling and just ask a clear, specific question that they can answer. And if someone is a good conversationalist, he's just shooting the shit. Stop defending him. He's terrible at actually talking and asking a question like this.
So that they're trying to take back. At one point they tried to take back Twitch Primes. I know they're cutting like the sub split. If you had like a higher one, they're changing that to be just 50% for everybody. Little things like that, I think, have turned a lot of streamers away from it, as well as just like the way.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I want to get to the real questions. How do you justify selling your content as hardcore when you're sucking on a fake plastic penis? Get to the real questions, okay? You're going to sound like a porn-addicted weirdo, but you're not. You're just a fucking journalist.
That Twitch is run with like the terms of service and the moderation team, they don't actually communicate with the rest of Twitch, the people who make the decisions on who to ban and what for. And so a lot of times you'll just get like a blanket category like, oh, sexual content or whatever, without telling you what it was. They don't have a clip or anything. So you can't even correct the behavior. It's really
that's exactly like YouTube. When a video gets demonetized for me, it'll say, and like,
I'm sorry. I agree that there are definitely problems with transparency on Twitch. Okay? But can we be honest? Okay? There's a lot of content creators that push the boundaries and then act surprised when they get fucking clapped. And it's like you were literally oiling yourself up like a fucking turkey, rubbing your ass on stream. Obviously, that's going to get you fucking clapped, isn't it? Yes. Like that fucking, I think they're unbanned now, but that Indie Fox person was a very good example of that. Oh, are you telling me that being half naked, basically showing my full fucking anus, is against you? Oh my goodness, what? Jesus, well, tell me what it is so I know. Probably the point at which I could see what you had for fucking breakfast, you slut. Okay. I don't want to just hate women anymore. Let's just try and be a bit more reasonable towards women, okay?
Like, in general, outside of my interviews, in general, I keep everything family friendly. So I'm like, what do you mean? It'll say,
okay, Amouranth, you sell your whore videos as, and I quote, first time sucking BBC, when in reality it's a slab of plastic. How do you respond to the fake whore allegations? Well, you don't have to go that extreme with it. You could even say something like, in research for this, I've seen that there's lots of allegations that you misrepresent your OnlyFans content and you claim to engage in hardcore using fake implements. How do you respond to that criticism? Or something like that. You can just make it a bit softer. You don't have to go full on insano mode straight away. I've been doing some research. Jerking it to your OnlyFans for the past fucking 5 days.
Say like vulgarity or excessive cursing. I'm like, I didn't curse. Can you point me to the, they don't give you the timestamp, and then I'll appeal it. And then immediately like, no, it's definitely not good. I'm like, but what? I don't.
Yeah.
So I find that very similar where girls on Twitch, for example, I feel like there's some nerd who was like literally measuring with a protractor how much thigh they could show. And if you like exceeded that percentage, or if your cleavage exceeded a percentage, then they were like, this is not okay. But there was like no real.
Why is TheQuartering saying this? This is just like, this is so far removed. Why is TheQuartering being less misogynistic than me? That's a myth that's perpetuated, okay? But a lot of the time when these fucking OnlyFans, the people that are using Twitch as a conduit to their OnlyFans, it's very clear why they get banned. It's not because they're, you're showing a little bit inch too much thigh. They are fucking twerking on stream, or they got the full ass cheeks out on display or something like that. What is going on? Is he just wanting to butter her up or something? What a fucking, am I crazy? Is he being a simp, or am I just fucking crazy?
Guidelines. And one thing I did want to ask you about, and this is something I feel like larger streamers, including yourself, do benefit from. Although, Twitch at that time anyway, the double standard on Twitch, where, and I'm not inviting you to trash Twitch, because I know, why would you? It's still a platform that you may want to go back to at some point.
God.
I still stream on it every day.
Oh, and you also
but
still use
I don't
it,
have a deal with them, so they're not, I'm not being paid to speak good things.
Yeah. Okay, so let me reword this then. So of the people that left Twitch, what do you think their common, for me, from the outside looking in, I felt like, well, okay, I make $1 million a year on subscriptions, okay? And I gross $1 million.
Fat and gay.
Thank you, Maybe Optimal, for the sub. Appreciate it. I mean, I don't care if he's fat and gay. That's not of interest to me. I just care that he's not hating women enough.
And I net 500,000 after a 50-50 split. If I go to Kick, I make $1 million a year, and I gross $1 million a year. Or even if it was 95.5, I think, or something like that. Yeah, so it's 950. Give yourself a $400,000 raise to just change platforms. I screwed up.
Oh my God! He's trying to ask a question. There was a question in there already. And then he's continued to talk, and now he's fucked up talking as well. I honestly thought this was going to be, okay, TheQuartering's going to put some pressure on her to talk about some of these controversial topics. And he's just spent 10 minutes simping and not spending fucking ages asking a question.
Sorry. I want to go back to your comment earlier about it's difficult to bring people over, because that actually like stuck on my heart because of Rumble. So I'm a YouTuber. I have, 1.5 million subscribers or something.
Right.
But I don't like YouTube. I think that they are censorious. I think they shadow ban.
Stream.
I think they don't like people who have dissenting opinions. And so I try to support Rumble. Ever since I've started supporting Rumble, I feel like they've really been penalizing me. How do you think we together in the same journey can be more effective at getting people to come over? Because
what is this? What is going on? It's all softball shit. How can we work together, Amouranth? Like, how can we work together?
Right now, I bet you, so on YouTube, I bet you, okay, well, I definitely have more people watching on Rumble, but it's difficult to get people to break that habit. What do you think the average user will need to actually say, oh, you know what, I'm going to go support someone?
It's going to come later. He's going to start to pressure her, right? Not like that. Come on, he's going to start to ask some hard questions later, I'm sure.
Someone else.
It's difficult because every user has a different, I guess, like watch preference. Like some watch like a bunch of creators, some just watch one or two, right?
Yeah.
And so if they just watch
yeah, what you don't realize is behind the scenes, the nature of the conversation is TheQuartering said, can we do that hardcore scene together? And she's gone, maybe, sure. That's just, what are the questions again for the interview?
One, and that person moves, they'll go. But if they are the kind of person that like likes to stay connected and like hop around and check out like all the streamers they watch, if 3 of them have gone to like say Kick, but 7 of them are on Twitch, they're probably not gonna be as active on Kick.
You're right. Yeah, I think
the preference,
that's been the difficulty for me, especially as a creator who still relies on YouTube income. YouTube income is still important to me, so I can't just be like, F YouTube. This is something most viewers and non-content creators, this is a divide we have. It's very easy to say screw YouTube and go to Rumble, but I would be making 1% of what I make the way it is. And so people have to get more creative. And I want to transition to some of your genius.
In fact, I'll give credit to the quartering there, because there's some Riot creators that make a big fucking stink about stuff, and it's like they're still on YouTube, and they're still on YouTube because that's where the fucking money is. But then they try and act like, you know, they're not honest about that fact. But yeah, that is absolutely true. YouTube is where the fucking money is. Kick, I think, is good if you're like a much smaller creator, or you get a deal if you're a bigger creator. But for me, like, Twitch is still my main platform because it's where I'm likely to make the most money, unless I get like a ridiculous amount of subs. There's no ad revenue or anything like that on there at the moment. Does the quartering work with Devin? Is that what you're saying? He better start calling a name soon, or I'm going to lose interest very quickly.
Opinion, investment choices, and like, there's no shame in having an advisor, but what in the hell made you decide, hey, I'm going to buy a freaking gas station? Like, what? I mean, I know you do very well financially, and I want to trade bank accounts with you, but you seem to have this foresight of understanding. So I start a coffee company. You buy a gas station.
He's simping so hard.
You know clearly that we have, as content creators, whether you are somebody who does OnlyFans, or if you're somebody who just streams video games, we all have basically a pretty finite life. You have, like a cockroach, as well as myself, far extended the average lifespan of a content creator. That's one of the things that I'm most proud of. Like, most people who are commentators, they hang on for like a year or two. The idea that I've been around for 7-8 years is like unheard of. And for you, it's even more unheard of. You're like setting the bar as you go on. So what made you understand the value of outside investment, and what are the things that you like, you are actually passionate about investing? Are you emotionally attached to these side projects that you do?
Oh my God, like, what? Say something mean about women.
I'm mostly just looking at it from like a smart to diversify and invest what I've made. I don't really think that I'm passionate about the investments per se. There are some side projects that I think are more fun that I'll get into. But for like the gas station, that kind of thing is just something that is reliable, right? It's going to be around for a while. Even if people move to electric, it's not like gas stations will cease to exist. They'll just add chargers. So it's something that
I thought it was going to be. I assumed the quartering was going to go hard. Confronting. Look at the title. I know you can't judge a book by its cover, but confronting top OnlyFans model on side hustles, double standards. We'll get to it. We're going to get to it. Okay, just chill. Just wait.
is just, going to be really, really reliable to stick around for a long time. I can't foresee that ever going away, really, in my lifetime.
Gas stations don't make money on gas either. Most people don't know that. It's like in Wisconsin, we have Quick Trip, which is like they make their money selling bananas and liquor and car washes and things of that nature. So I think that was just really what I smart.
Just what I want to hear. My conversation with Culture War Warrior, TheQuartering in Amouranth, is a conversation about how gas stations make money. Who fucking cares? Ask her about why she's such a slut.
Man, do you have someone in your life that is saying like, hey, you've got to diversify a little bit here. You've got to, I mean, how do you come to the decision to buy a gas station or to, any of these wild, I mean, the molds, for example, by the way, that is, obviously we talked about off air that, that's more like on brand, but like a gas station is more off brand. How do you come there?
Usually it's stuff that my accountant is sending to me, because there was a clause going on for the past couple of years that was like a business depreciation clause, and you could like a bonus depreciation rather. So if you say at the gas station, I bought it, and because of that clause, I can add the entire cost.
Yeah, it's like, this is what I'd expect from like a Devon Nash conversation about the fucking behind this curtain shit. Oh yeah, we're going to talk about the fucking how the sausage is made type situation. It's the quartering, though. The quartering's supposed to be the culture warrior guy. Who cares about the gas station stuff? Does anyone care about Amouranth's take on gas stations? If you're not into the sausages made shit?
Of like the land and like the expenses to the amount I've spent that year to
I get
reduce
it.
my
So you can
income, and
depreciate
then
the whole thing.
my
Yeah.
tax rate for that year is lower because I'm just adding it as
Yes,
an
but I
expense.
watched Devin Nash for Devin Nash. I want the inside baseball shit. I'm all up for that when I'm watching Devin Nash. I was watching this thinking, right, the Quartering's going to fucking ask her about some of the controversies. He's going to talk about the fake dicks. He's going to talk about the fake abusive husband. He's going to get into it all. He's going to ask her why she's continued to do exactly the same kind of content she did when she had a husband that claimed was abusive and made her do it. Like that sort of stuff. I thought it was going to be about that. If she was black, he would roast her. It's okay. Well, you know, it's fun to watch someone and just soy out about it. Oh, hey, Tegma, hopefully. Current day California bullshit. What he says.
It's like I was able to,
I'll speed up
just
a bit,
do it all at once rather than over time.
Yeah.
It was an
That's so
great
smart.
thing. And I wish I'd done more now.
I know, right? I look back and I'm like, man, I could own so many storage units and like other stuff that thing that everyone loves when creators talk about how much money they make or how much money they're not making. That's the top. Everyone loves, viewers love when creators talk about money. But I will say this, what she's referencing in the actual smart way, I'll say is, mostly creators that, whether you're OnlyFans creator or a YouTuber, we don't have a lot of write-offs.
No.
You have
some. I mean, for me, I do, but
for
most
you,
creators don't. Like gamers, etc. It's like your equipment. That's it.
Yeah, like all those fake plastic dicks that she uses to act like she does hardcore scenes. Don't be afraid to look like a Kuma, Quartering. Okay, you pissed in a fucking drain in your basement. You should have no shame. Fucking ask the difficult questions. Maybe he needs a couple of fucking drinks down him to get the Dutch courage. Come on.
Basically.
Yeah. So like if you're someone like XQC, you might write off, if you're big, you write off travel or something like that. But you're not writing off cars for the most part, unless that's, you want to live in the gray area.
Car YouTubers can, but
yes, car YouTubers can. Yeah. If you're so it's difficult to buy. I mean, it's difficult to get write-offs as a
yeah. Oh, juicy. Tell me more about the tax write-offs. Oh my god, what is this? I was expecting so much more. I'm sorry, guys. I'm gonna have to start. I'm getting anti-woman soon.
Content creator, whether that's OnlyFans content or YouTube content or Twitch content, whatever it is. This is the same thing.
The genius behind being a variety streamer and having so many different platforms, because all the clothes I buy, tax expense. Try on channels.
Why wouldn't they? Yeah.
All my horses, I use them on my IRL streams. Tax expense, all their care and supply.
Horses, you say? Do you know what this is like? This like sitting down for the Phantom Menace. You're like, oh great, new Star Wars movie. I was like, what, 15 or something back in 2001. Oh, watch Star Wars films as a kid. Great, can't wait for the new one. Starts up, and they start talking about the fucking taxation of trade routes. I don't care about the taxation of trade routes. When's that little fucking red fella gonna get his lightsaber out? Enough with this taxation shit. Get to the good shit. Come on.
You have to do that, because otherwise you'd be like me and you're paying like 45% tax. And like when I don't know about you, but when I started,
no one cares about tax,
and I started making real money, I weirdly felt like guilty about writing stuff off. And I was like, I don't know, because I'm an idiot, because I'm like, oh, government, good. But I was like, oh, I don't know. But now I'm like, oh, if it's on my set, oh, this NES collection I spent $5,000 on, it's a piece of art. Like there's like, it's hard to communicate to people. One of the numbers.
Listen, talking about business stuff is fine as an aside or as a little detail or to your core audience. When it's like a big interview with like Amouranth, why the fuck are you talking about tax write-offs, man? It's like having a conversation with the fucking IRS. It's like you're talking to the fucking IRS. What's going on?
Number one top things to separate content creators in our world, which is like, I'll just say non-traditional content creators, is how we diversify and how we spend our money. Because
we're back in
many of these creators, remember like the hype beast era where these idiots were spending like, oh, I bought $100,000 watch and I made a YouTube video on it because they could write it off. They're all gone. None of these people, because that comes and goes, but people need gas. You have your horses, which you get to create content around. Now I want a horse. I want to transition to something more specific.
Okay.
So
now
I took a lot of, and you might have too, like a lot of backlash from us talking. And to be honest, I've always felt like when we've communicated via DMs, I'm like, I'm not even sure she's the one answering them. But I will say,
most of the time I am.
Okay.
There's some scheduling things that my team handles, but
yeah. So I feel like, you know, when we've talked in the past, you've always been very fair with me, even when I haven't been fair with you. And
this is boring as fuck. I'm out. Jeremy, what you doing? Next time, invite Belle Delphine. I'm just reading the chat here. Who the heck is she? And why should I care what she has to say? Jesus Christ, this is terrible. What the fuck are you doing, Jeremy? Even his audience are fucking hating this. Jeremy, my boy, you're simping so hard after all the good shout you talk. Damn. People are absolutely fuming. His audience are absolutely fuming at the fucking softball interview he's conducting with Amouranth.
One of the things that I've talked about on my channel extensively, like,
okay, here we go. This is it, guys.
OnlyFans backfires is like a beautiful is like a home run piece of content I might make. You know, woman makes OnlyFans content, something bad happens.
Yes, yes.
This is the type of content that I make. I'm not going to lie about it. And
based.
It does, yeah. And you know, sometimes you know, like I don't know. It depends on who the person really is. It's hard to dunk on you because you have commas in your bank account that are exceed mine. So it's hard to dunk on you, but
you've got more money than me. So, dude, what's going on? What does that even mean? You got more money than me, so it's hard to dunk on you. Yeah, but there's still things you can criticize her for, no? Like the fucking fake porno shit, the fake abusive husband. What else is there? I'm sure there's other controversies as well.
I'll say this. One of the things, if we can get real for a second, one of the things that I've always talked about is kind of like the Twitch to OnlyFans pipeline. And my position has been that, look, if you're just a good-looking girl, actually really any girl or guy, who's creating gaming content, who also happens to do lewds or something like that, or they aren't always lewds. You know, it could just be, you know.
Okay. I was suckered in by the husband tale at first. That's the last time I ever trusted a woman. But yeah, I mean, I think that was massively overblown and played up by Amouranth to boost her channel. The fact that she was making such a big deal out of doing the kind of content she wanted to do, and then went to doing exactly the same content after that. I think there was like a couple of streams where she wore a t-shirt and played video games, but then everything else has been back to exactly the same kind of content she normally does. If anything, it's gotten more extreme. But oh, it's different now because she's the one that's deciding to do it, apparently.
You know, spicy pictures or whatever the case is. I feel like, okay, I accept this. But where I do have a problem with is kind of the predatory. This is something I've talked about, man.
Okay, we're getting, yes! He's going to talk about the way that some women engage in predatory tactics to take advantage of vulnerable men in getting them onto OnlyFans and stuff so they can rinse them for their money for exclusive private DMs, etc. Yes. This is it, guys. This is going to be it. Get ready.
With 10 years. You know, how do you get someone who is genuinely just trying to create content and then also sells these pictures? How do you weigh them against someone who is very clearly someone who is into making, who is really just wants to sell X-rated content, but then pretends to be into video games and things? As far as I go back,
oh my god, just ask a fucking question again. He's gonna say more shit when he's just asked a question.
Remember you did like DDR streams and stuff like that. It's not like you were like a fake gamer, but no. I have a problem with the predatory side of it, if that makes sense to you. Where it's
predatory,
I feel like you were misrepresenting yourself in the Twitch stream in order to solicit your audience to your OnlyFans. How do you respond to that?
Do you mean like farming parasocial relationships and manipulating an audience, or do you mean like kids going to a website?
Well, I'm thinking farming parasocial relationships more so, because the kids thing, look, parents, watch your kids. I definitely, you know, I don't.
Yes, you have made it clear you're trying to query her about this concept of farming parasocial relationships. Just let her answer that. Let her answer to that, because that is a perfectly reasonable criticism. God damn it. It's so frustrating to watch.
I'm not like a think of the kids guy. You know, if you're worried about your kids being exposed to boobs, then they can't watch Twitch or they can't, whatever the case is. You know,
I mean, they can go to a mall and see Victoria's Secret ads. Like that's that's worse than what you could see on Twitch. You know.
Well, that's true.
That is no, it's not. No, that isn't true at all. There's way worse on Twitch than a fucking Victoria's Secret advert. Amaranth herself is engaged in it with the fucking arms race of sexual content on Twitch. That's not true. And he's agreeing with it.
And or on network television or whatever the case is, right? So yeah, I'm not a think of the kids guy, but I'm more of like I've always been the harshest.
At your service, my queen.
Are like, oh my God, guys, I'm just like you. And then they start their Twitch career with the explicit intent of selling like lewd photographs and being predatory in that, like, I care about you. I care about the thing you like. Also buy pictures of my butthole. Like,
it's like emotional manipulation kind of thing.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. I feel like this is not something that you've done. I feel like you've kind of just been like, now maybe you did early in your years. It's not
no, that's I've never pretended to care about them in like a ooh baby, you're so special to me. Since like I preach in my Twitch often. That's like if I see someone being parasocial in chat, I'm like, why are you being weird, dude? Like stop. I'm not your girlfriend, bro. I don't know you. You are a stranger. Touch.
Yeah. You will do that, and other women will do that if it makes you uncomfortable because they're being too much with it, okay? But women will absolutely capitalize on that, you know, as long as it benefits them and doesn't make them uncomfortable, right? Like this idea of like, oh yeah, I call it. No, you do it when someone's taking it too far, making you uncomfortable, but you rely fundamentally on power. And all streamers do to a certain degree, and I don't have a problem with women capitalizing on that too. But it's like when it becomes an issue, when it becomes excessive. Like you could ask someone like Amouranth, what measures do you have in place to make sure that you're not taking advantage of vulnerable people that are spending, you know, too much money on you or something like that, you know?
Grass, you know, like that kind of thing.
So, like, for example, you know, in some cases, she gets like, yeah, exactly. She got sent $10,000 in a briefcase during the husband shit. That is an insane amount of money. And it's like, what checks did you engage in to make sure that that was like a legitimate, correct decision the person made? Because, you know, $5 here, $5 there, $10 here, whatever. But when it's like $10,000, $20,000, that's a lot of money. And it's quite rare that someone has got that level of finance to be able to do that. And it's like, what measures do you put in place to make sure that the person that has done that is a legitimate actor and isn't like some insane person that is like, got dementia and is spending a bunch of money on you, or is taking out a loan to give you a bunch of money or something like that.
I appreciate but that's what that's what actually really changed my opinion of you, as because you're an easy target because you're very popular on Twitch. And so like Amouranth with some cleavage in a thumbnail gets great views, as you may know. And you were an easy target. But then I started looking in, trying to understand a little bit more. And I started watching your content and I was like, well, she's actually like not weird about it. Like she's not, oh, I care about you. Like there are like Findom Twitch streamers and things of that nature. I don't want to name any names and like doing it, but like I've covered a lot of who I think are like trash people. And I think that they give maybe someone like you who is more open about their career choice, their career, and you obviously do way more than just OnlyFans. Right. How do you see this as it now is sold, right? Because OnlyFans, I won't ask you to disparage OnlyFans. I will say my opinion is, you know, just like YouTube, just like Twitch, OnlyFans exists on selling a dream. You could be the next Amouranth. You could be the next, you know, on YouTube.
So we've not actually gotten a substantive answer to that question about farming parasocial stuff, right? And we've kind of moved on, but Amouranth hasn't really answered it. He's just fucking rabbited on. And now he wants to talk about the OnlyFans selling a dream.
You could be the next iShowSpeed. You could be the next. So what most people don't understand is like, you know, a fraction of % of people, just like on Twitch or YouTube or OnlyFans, actually really make any money. Where do you see, you know, what do you say to people like me who view
the thing is as well is like, I think there was a period where people promoted the idea of being a content creator and it's an easy way to make money, which is obviously wrong. Well, there's lots of differences, but one of the problems with OnlyFans is that what they're asking you to give is a whole lot more than you have to give as like a streamer, and in terms of investment of yourself and what you're giving out and putting into the world. You know, in some cases, pictures of your naked fucking body are going to be out there on the internet forever. You know, most streamers that give it a go and don't get anywhere, you know, are probably going to be able to quietly leave, and that's that. But even small OnlyFans creators can end up with their images getting shared and perpetuated and lasting forever on the internet for people to see. A whole lot more. Yes, exactly. Yes, being on OnlyFans isn't the same as having a failed video essay channel. Exactly. I hate the comparison that people do where, you know, I mean, I guess there's maybe some people on OnlyFans where no one subscribes to you, so your nudes don't get out there at all. But I think if you put your nudes on the internet, it's very likely that they're going to be looked at against your will even in the future. What's that porn star? What's her name? Mia Khalifa, is that it? That now has said that any of the porn she did, you shouldn't watch because she was getting abused when she made it. As if that's going to stop people that want to fucking jerk off to it, you know? Once you put your body out there, that's that. You're fucked. It's game over. Everyone's going to be able to look at your asshole. Anyway.
Content as predatory and are concerned about the parasocial aspect of it.
See, that's difficult because I feel like if the people, like the audience, is going to be parasocial, a lot of that means that they're probably like not there mentally and they're delusional. They're going to do that to a creator no matter what they're doing. Like I see streamers on Twitch all the time, girl streamers who are very wholesome, don't have any sexual platforms anywhere, hardly ever wear cleavage at all, like very mainstream content, just gaming, wholesome stuff. And they'll get crazy people in their chat all the time thinking that they're in a relationship with them, you know, just crazy delusions.
The demand for OnlyFans or lewds like that.
Yeah, she's going to like the crazy delusions. And it's like, yeah, obviously there's going to be people who take it to an extreme. But what about the people in the middle, right? Where you are capitalizing on it and are presenting an image of something that is completely like unobtainable, you know? Like if someone said to me, oh, Chud, are we friends? I'd be like, no, obviously not. I'm a streamer and you're just watching, right? We're not friends unless I know you in some way. We speak or something. Do you know what I mean? But like, I just, you know, to be fair, I don't watch Amouranth's content, but I know that women will play a lot more in the uncertainty about it. I mean, some of them even fucking sell girlfriend experiences, for fuck's sake. That's one way to fuck with someone's head, isn't it? Pay me money and I'll pretend to be your girlfriend. Like, Jesus Christ.
Dude, I don't think that kind of sucks.
By the way, if you sub to me or, you know, help me fill the bars up today, you are my close personal friend. So don't forget that bit, okay?
For a creator that doesn't do that kind of stuff, there's kind of this, oh, you're pretty.
Where's you know? So I feel like that parasocial thing, you can't really, I don't know, like, as far as you're talking about like girls being like, oh, I'm totally a nerd, buy my stuff. Like, okay, I would say that's just capitalism. I can't really hold that against them because like, I know a lot of guys who do that shit for free.
Okay, who cares about a girl pretending to be a nerd? It doesn't, that's a completely irrelevant fucking detail. That doesn't matter, okay? What matters and what is worth... Hey! Thanks for the sub F-bombs, appreciate you.
Hope you are well.
What matters is people who are, you know, potentially putting out products and services around their OnlyFans, around their Twitch, etc., that present unrealistic things that can lead people down a path where they get a bit fucking insane with this shit, you know? Like, the idea that someone's pretending to be a nerd is completely fucking irrelevant.
In romantic relationship just trying to get pussy, you know? They'll be like, oh yeah, baby, totally, I'm totally into that. Yes.
I love that, Sharon.
Yes. Like, I'm used to just, I'm always, my whole life I've been surrounded by like yes men who will just tell me, they pretend that they're into horses or whatever it happens to be that I like, just to try to get in my pants, you know?
Yes.
So it's like, I view that as the same thing, but you know, they're doing it for free. And
you've got a yes man right here talking to you.
Girls are actually supporting their life, and sometimes they have kids and they're just trying to get by, and especially with COVID, like I don't really judge girls for that. I can understand if you're like, I don't like that. Like, sure, there's a lot of things in the world I don't like, but I understand why they do it, you know? So
yeah, I
kind of get it. But as far as like the delusional people, like you can't point fingers and be like, you are manipulating these guys with your boobs and OF videos and pictures, because they're insane about girls who don't do that too. And they're going to stalk them and think that they're in a relationship with them. Even if that creator is like, no, don't stalk me. I don't know you. Please leave. They'll create alts. They just keep going. Sometimes delusional people, you can't do anything.
That's actually a really interesting perspective. That's like a classic reason.
Maybe I'm missing something, but I feel like that's on the watcher. If they fall for that, then that's their issue. I mean, you know, I don't know what the truth is. Well, I'm never going to find out based on this interview. I don't really watch Amouranth's content, so I can't really speak to like whether she is guilty of this herself or not. That's why I want to see some questions asked about it at the very least. But he's obviously not going to do that. He's just speaking around it and speaking and not asking a question. But we're talking about extremes. Yes, we can all agree that if someone is like stalking you or thinks that you're their fucking partner, there was a clip that I watched recently where someone walked into some streamer's house and was trying to find out if they were friends or something. Like, that's obviously an insane extreme, but it's the people in the middle, and it's the potential for people who are lonely that, you know, maybe don't quite get it. Maybe someone who's got some sort of mental disability, autistic or whatever, getting the wrong end of the stick and then being taken advantage of. And if there's measures in place to stop that from happening, you know? Oh my God, this is so insufferable. He just wants to talk about fucking tax.
And why I'm glad we did this. So, you know, at least from your perspective, some of this like parasocial stuff is not like you're not seeking it. You know, you're just like, hey, I'm this person, I'm doing this thing. I mean, I know you've had, I don't know how many stalkers, right? And you know, my stalkers just swap me. Your stalkers like show up at your house. And you know, I think that's actually an educational point for me, is that like not everyone actually wants to. I think for me, for a long time, there was this like feeling that like, every OnlyFans girl is like a pretty girl who then is like, I know you're more than just OnlyFans because you actually occurred before that. But anyway, people that are on OnlyFans are like pretty girls who like treat men like garbage in real life. And they're like, oh, now I can do it for money. When the reality is, I mean, yes, those women do exist. And probably men too. There are probably male OnlyFans people that make good money too. I just, you know, I'm sure there are.
There are. And do you know what they do? They appeal to gays. Like, it sounds homophobic, but it's genuinely not. Male porn stars are most appealing to men, to gay men. So what male porn stars will do, particularly OnlyFans guys, is they might do like boy-girl scenes and stuff like that. But they'll also do solo scenes. And obviously the solo scenes is probably, and they're not, let's say they don't want to do gay shit, but that's obviously men watching. You know, it's not as common that a woman is going to want to watch a guy jerk off. I mean, they can open their DMs and probably see 5 videos of that, versus some gay fella that's like, oh, here's a big muscly black guy jerking off. Lovely, lovely jubbly. Ooh. Yes, it's called gay for pay. It used to mean if you fucked a guy for money, but now it just means if you're accepting of, like, you know, doing a little bit of stuff for the gays, and you're just like, yeah, cool. Or, and on OnlyFans, presumably you got to talk to the guys as well. In fact, that guy that had sex with that Adam 22's wife spoke about this. Spoke about, I think, I remember reading an article or something about it. He was saying like, yeah, be open to the gays or something like that.
But like, I think that,
or maybe it is maybe straight guys that just appreciate the form and are just, cheering on the guy. Yeah, that is a great technique. You're gonna come so quick jerking off like that. That is incredible technique, you fucking Chad.
The perspective is that everyone who does it is like predatory, when I guess that's not the reality. I mean, I would say that I haven't seen anything in your content that is like, oh my God, I'm a fake gamer girl. Buy my, want to see my boobs? But those people do exist. Like those.
Who cares about fake gamer girls? It doesn't fucking matter. Oh, some slut is pretending to be a gamer to get some OnlyFans subs. I mean, if you think girls are good at video games, that's fucking on you. The concern is when it's people who are maybe getting taken advantage of in some way through the content that you offer, through the way that you present your content. That is the issue, and he's not really getting to the heart of that.
Just say the last part, that's all.
Yeah, you're just like, hey, look, here they are. Hey, get them. But
take them or leave them, but there's a discount.
Yeah, right, or both. But I think that there are a lot of these like.
Yeah, Tegma, exactly. You've nailed it in that statement. I'm a health coach. I cannot ethically allow my clients to let them use my advice in replacement to medical advice. I have to make it obvious somewhere. Yeah, that's exactly it. It's like, if it's like, look, girlfriend experience, by the way, this doesn't mean, and you make it clear, that's fine. But I do think that, I don't even know if Amouranth is guilty of this myself. I know that she misrepresents her content in other ways, but some people won't make that clear. So there's an ambiguity there, which can lead to confusion, which can mean that people can get taken advantage of. That's all it is. It needs to be clear and clarified. That's all. But I don't know if Amouranth does. But I know some models that don't do that. And they do allow the ambiguity to run rampant. And that's a breeding ground for people to be taken advantage of with these sort of services.
But they don't last. I think that just like with YouTube or Twitch or kick streaming, like real people last. The fact that you have lasted as long as you have is probably like,
what?
When you're keeping the ghosts.
Is that true? I feel like real people get fucking churned out very quickly because it's like fucking, it's pretty rough. It's a pretty rough thing sometimes. I know it sounds great and whatever, and we like to joke about how easy streamer life is, and yeah, on the whole it is. Don't get me wrong, I'd rather be doing this than anything else. But like, if you're like a real person, I don't know, I think you've kind of got to not be real doing this because you'll just get fucked over.
It's away on your deathbed one day. Like the fact that you've existed in a space that really has.
Oh, what's this? Bill Clinton kid versus OnlyFans model.
I'm just selling my nudes online because number one, it's fun. It gives me a great lifestyle.
It's not fun. You're gonna be depressed even if you aren't depressed. Let's just say you're one of the minority who aren't depressed after they do this certain thing. Okay. Your kids will definitely be depressed.
And how do you don't know my kids? Is what I'm saying. Like you're just pulling all of this out of thin air to appease an audience of loser incels who have like no. They just want to shit pretty women because they're intimidated by them.
You said that he capitalizes and makes money and makes a living off of sad, like lonely incel men, right? Who do you think you are? What do you think you do for a living?
I provide.
Honest, what is this?
Content. I'm a content creator.
You think you're appealing to anybody who can do anything?
I appeal to anyone who wants to jerk off. I guess you're fans.
And who do you think those people are?
My
Obviously,
fans.
Yeah, a bunch of incels.
I'm just selling my nudes on.
That's the energy we need for the quartering right now. Come on.
An extremely short time to live in content creation, whether it's OnlyFans or not, because you were popular before OnlyFans. It's been interesting to me, which brings up the question. You've always been kind of at the forefront of new content trends. You have this like weird, unique ability to figure out content that both triggers people and is content that people can't turn away from. Like how in the hell did you come up with the horse head?
Oh my god, people are furious. Jeremy's chat are furious with his behavior. Jeremy is simping hard for this girl. So much for confronting her. Lol. Why is she dressed like that? What is the point of this interview? Honestly, chat is the best part of this whole conversation. Just seeing Jeremy get roasted by his own viewer base.
And like, I remember seeing that and I was like, oh my God, this is the craziest thing I've ever seen. And I can't not watch it. Like, how does the horse head, I mean, how do you stay ahead of the curve? God. I mean, give me all your crib notes on how you obviously.
Amouranth, how are you so based and great at doing this? How did you come up with all these amazing content ideas, Amouranth? Oh my God, you're so ahead of the curve and a genius and you're so brilliant. Please tell me more.
You must think about this. Like you seem to always be changing before things get stale. And, how did the horse head come up? Because you did get suspended.
She did some stream where she had a fucking horse head on as a meme. I don't fucking know, man.
For one of those, right? Or a short ban for one of the horse head streams, I think.
Oh, yeah, there was
you have so many
licking meta. It wasn't the horse that got me suspended. But
it's just that meta.
Yeah, okay. It was. I mean, I streamed for like 12 hours, right? So it's like there's something in there, something in that stream, but not particularly the horse. The horse was always.
Yeah, someone mentioned that earlier. The DSP interview apparently was similar. I've actually found a DSP video to watch maybe on Kick. I want to do some lolcow content on Kick, but yeah, people were saying it was the same situation. The thing is, you don't need to be obnoxious. You don't need to be an absolute dick about it. But you can just put questions to her and, give her a chance to answer. And if you don't like what she says, you can sort of pin it down one way or another, You don't need to do this like, oh my God, you're so smart of coming up with these content ideas. If you want to talk about like content ideas, like the hot tub stuff, you could talk about the fact that, she essentially took advantage of loopholes in order to justify sexualized content on Twitch. Because the thing is with the hot tub streams, the rules were in place and designed so you could wear a bikini if you're at the beach or something like that. That was the point of the rules. And a bunch of these fucking whores were like, oh, well, let me get a hot tub. And that's a contextually appropriate environment to wear a bikini. And it basically justifies wearing a bikini in your fucking basement in a hot tub. It was designed as a loophole to circumvent the rules so you could push more sexualized content on Twitch. Now, it's fine. I actually think it's quite clever that they thought of that. Fair play to the fucking get your bags, queens, or whatever. But you would have thought the quartering would at least talk about that sort of thing, or talk about how it's pushed Twitch in a more sexualized direction. Maybe I missed something, but I thought the quartering was all about this kind of thing. I thought he was very critical of the direction that Twitch took. I thought he was very critical of the fact that Twitch, have gone down a more sexualized route as time has gone on. And now he's like going, oh yeah, well Twitch can be a bit harsh, can't they? And measuring out how much fucking leg you're showing. Like it seems like a complete opposition to the kind of shit he normally espouses.
It's been fine. But yeah, I pretty much just keep trying things. I think because I am live more than most creators, it gives me the opportunity to try new things a lot more. And I just kind of see what sticks. Yeah, I consider myself like a troll in moderation, I guess. By that I mean, if I get bored of something or no longer look forward to it, I know it's time to move on because the audience is probably bored of it too by then.
What do you think about, I feel like there are a couple of Twitch streamers that kind of figured out getting banned from streaming was a great marketing tactic, especially if you're an attractive female.
What do you be.
Do you think it was ever negative?
The only thing I think can be negative is the duration, but I've never tried to get banned on purpose. I just feel like it's too risky because you never know when they're going to decide to hit you with like a 7-day or a 30-day or whatever. But it can be, you know.
I don't see. That's the kind of thing that you would think he would like. Like, there's definitely. I mean, God, you'd have to go back. You'd have to actually, quite novel, I know, do some fucking research for the interview if this is a planned thing. But like, I'm certain that there's times where she's definitely pushed boundaries when it comes to certain content. Like, some of the bans she's received, even if she's not like, I want to get banned, it's definitely been evident that she's been pushing boundaries, where the inevitable outcome of that is that she's going to get banned because of sexualized content. Yes, exactly. There was a whole fucking arms race, and you had all these fucking lady streamers that were just pushing the boundary further and further and further to see what you could get away with. Like, I feel like people have forgotten, like, the 2021 hot tub stream meta. It was fucking insane. Like, some of it was basically like chatterbait. They were basically doing chatterbait streams on Twitch. It was fucking wild. Do you remember? Yeah, exactly, Malkaz. Yeah, Amouranth versus Indie Fox. That was fucking crazy times. The farting into the mic shit. If there's no fart, just end it.
Yeah.
What you do. Like, there was a girl who, I think she left the camera.
Why not just use chatterbait though? Because if you're on Twitch, you can run ads, for one thing. It's, you know, you're likely to get more income running that kind of stream on Twitch. And there isn't as many barriers to someone coming and watching a stream like there would be on the chatterbait and stuff like that, right? Like the over 18 shit and, I don't know, other competition from sexualized stuff. Like, if you're on chatterbait, you're probably going to have to do excessively sexualized stuff to get viewers unless you've got a massive audience already. But if you're on Twitch, you can just do little sexualized things, and that's going to get people watching because it's like, oh, there's like sexy shit on Twitch I can watch. Great. Do you think you get an interview with Amouranth? Maybe. I don't know how I'd reach out to her. I'd happily speak to Amouranth. I'd speak to anyone. I'd speak to any of fucking big creator. That'd be great for my channel. You have to fuck on chatterbait. I've not been on chatterbait for some time, okay? But I remember on there, the top ones were pretty, you know, they were pretty extreme. Let's put it that way. When I get her on, if I get her on, I'm going to be like, oh, Amouranth, I must say, I loved your interview with TheQuartering. You were so wonderful. I love the way that you talk. Can you tell me more about the tax stuff, please?
On during
By the way, can you just shout my channel out, please? Come on, let's go.
And she got banned for a week, and that's probably great for her.
Yeah.
Because she was like a nobody streamer anyway. It was like put you on the map.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of those, because I'm so like black pilled, clown pilled about.
What was worse was sexual off-camera BS. People only remember the larger streamers doing stuff. The arms race led to literally piping down off-cam. It was very, very bad, and Twitch staff were constantly told to intervene or advertisers are going to split. Thus, we had the rule mod change. Well, yeah, because that's why they created the hot tub section, was because they wanted to try and segment it away and try and calm down this fucking endless arm race that you seemingly had, when just chatting, people were constantly trying to one-up each other about how sexual you could get with the hot tub stuff. That was good drama. It was fun to talk about. I don't know if that ever went on YouTube. I think that was a long time ago. But I don't think I was uploading YouTube videos at the time. And because I was demonetized, I think. Yeah, that was crazy content. But yeah, advertisers don't want to be associated on, like, they come to Twitch. Advertisers have got like an idea. I mean, I feel like we speak about this all the time. Advertisers are like, right, I want to sell Coca-Cola. Okay. I'm happy for my stuff to be associated with X level of risk. So, you know, stuff that's maybe a bit spicy or whatever, that's fine. But I don't want to be associated with gambling, with porn. I don't want to be associated with Holocaust denial, right? So they'll come to Twitch and they'll be like, right, I know on Twitch you're going to have some of the girls have got low cut tops and I'm generally happy with the kind of risk that is shown on Twitch. That's fine. So when you get an arms race with people constantly one-upping each other to get more extreme sexual content, advertisers are looking at that and going, what the actual fuck is going on? I advertise on this platform expecting it to be, you know, risk level B, and you're giving me a risk level fucking F, double F titties, you know? And that was the problem. And the advertisers were starting to kick off. And that's something that can affect everyone on the platform. Chud, did you ever accidentally tune into daytime TV sex line things on UK digital TV? When I was younger, before I had access to... Bear in mind, when I was a kid, the kind of rampant internet access to, like, hardcore video sexual content that you've got now didn't exist, right? So when I was younger, it was fucking Babe Station, some fucking hooker, some whore, speaking to someone on the phone. You're basically getting cucked with their titties out, pretending like they were going to show their gash, going, oh, look at me, look at me. That was all you had. That's what you had to work with, you know? Hoping you might see a little flash of minge. That was about as good as it got back in my day. But now you can literally go onto fucking Google and type in massive gaping pussy hole and you can just see whatever you want. It's mental. Or the 10-minute free view. That's a thing of the past now, isn't it? Do you remember the 10-minute free view? Anyone that's older will know about this one, where you'd have like the porno channels that were like encrypted and you had to like pay to access them. But every so often they do like a 10-minute free view to tantalize people. Obviously you didn't have any money when you're younger, but you just try to use it as an opportunity. That's the best porno you could possibly get your hands on. Because, you know, video, you might get the odd image on the internet, but, you know, it was very limited. And obviously it was your parents' computer and stuff. So you couldn't just go on there and look at it willy-nilly. "10 minutes is all I needed." Don't quote the deep lore to me. I was there when it was written. But yeah, back in the day, it was a lot more difficult. Or, you know, I remember when I was like even younger than that, before like the internet and like Base Station even necessarily, you had like your 5 channels, right? On channel 5, if you were lucky, on a Friday or Saturday night, at like 10 p.m, they'd have like a blue movie on. It wasn't ever full on hardcore stuff, but you might see like a bit of titty, a bit of ass and stuff like that. That was as good as it got. Before even all the channels in that, and Babe Station even existed, you had to hope that channel 5 were broadcasting a blue movie. Or Eurotrash before that. Hope they don't have some weird guy that paints with shit and it's some saucy bird with her tits out and then you're fucking onto a winner. Jesus. You had to be lucky. Sometimes it was like, and now it's a French guy that hosted it. And now we go over to Je ne sais quoi le Paul, who paints with horse feces. Oh la la. And it was some fucking section about some guy painting with horse shit. What the fuck? I can't jerk off to this. Some people could probably, but not me. I needed just the normal shit, you know?
About everything that happens around me, I just assumed that was planned because I remember that story. And I was like, oh, this chick's like a nobody and I'm making a video about her. Got me. You know, like and if her intent was to push, you know, OnlyFans content or something like that, certainly, you know, people were talking about her. Speaking of that, what do you think is the most commonly misperceived thing, you know, being a female in the space about doing OnlyFans and what's the other one? Fansly or whatever it is that people do.
There's so many now, yeah.
Yeah, selling pictures of the butthole or whatever. What do you think the most like commonly misperceived thing is about it?
That it's easy money, because it's kind of like you said, only a fraction of the girls on OnlyFans or the platforms actually can make a living on it. Like people don't see the things that went into the outcome. All they see is like the dollar signs, right? They don't see all the work that went into getting their name out there, being diversified on all the platforms, the trends they had to stay up with, to follow, to grow the following. They don't see all that, the hours put into it. even offline, like the work that these girls do to stay looking good. It's just like you have to take care of your body.
Praying Amouranth invades my home and I'm allowed to finish. Why you said that about everyone on stream today? You said it about Sam Cedar, Emma. What's going on?
Just like an athlete would, or like a professional model would. So they think it's just easy money when it's not. You have to stay looking appealing if that's your industry, because there's so many girls out there. The market is so saturated now. There's always newer ones coming out, ones who are like more used to the new platforms like TikTok things, just the younger generations, that you have to stand out still somehow. So it actually is a lot that goes into it. They don't understand that there's more to it than just, here's a picture of my butthole, now I'm a millionaire. Most people
that's not how it works?
Making money.
There is, yeah. I mean, obviously, you need to be able to market and show your stuff off. I think the kind of thing that's said is about how easy it is to be a woman online, and that is reductive. Obviously, there's positives and minuses to everything, to being a man, to being a woman, etc. But yeah, obviously, you can't just put a picture of your asshole on the internet and expect to make a load of money. You need to be able to market it. It needs to be tasteful or whatever.
I thought that's how it worked. I've been holding onto my picture until I really need the money. I thought you just released one. Okay, well, I'm talking with, by the way, if you're tuning in on Rumble or on YouTube, or you're watching this later, I'm here with Amouranth. You can find all of her links at downbad.com, which is another great marketing decision because that's a great URL.
It is.
Downbad.com. She creates a lot of content that is both spicy and non-spicy. I'm starting to get talked into starting my own OnlyFans account. But
oh my God, he's actually shilling her shit as well now, is he? No, thank you. Stop simping. His audience are furious. They're kicking off. They're having a fucking mutiny in his chat. Jesus.
I think I might have to build it up
and
say
molding
like
your dick.
I know, mold my dick too. That would be, again, it would have to be special edition. It would have to be, I have to have like a collector's steel book that goes.
Yes, I've spoken about this before on this very channel. The OnlyFans pipeline. You get all these women that are like, oh, in fact, there was even, I think I might have actually dreamt this. Okay, maybe I didn't. I'm sure there was some article that spoke about and exposed the fact that when you see those articles about like, oh, OnlyFans mum quit a job and is now making a bunch of money, like that's bought and paid for by OnlyFans. Did I read an article about that, or did I dream that? But anyway, there is definitely, I mean, it doesn't, I don't know if it's still as bad as it was, but certainly like 2021, 2022, particularly during lockdown, there was a lot of articles like that pushed this idea that you could set up an OnlyFans and buy your own house within a period of time. Or you'd have OnlyFans girls that would be like, hey, look at this. I just bought a house with OnlyFans. And then the next fucking tweet was a link to their referral code for OnlyFans. Because OnlyFans have got a referral scheme where if you refer someone using a referral link, you get 5% of their income. I don't know if they still do, but they did at one point back when it was kind of happening. How would you know this? Know what? What part? It's all public information, isn't it? How's that any different to being any sort of online creator? Because you're not giving away as much if you're a fucking YouTuber or a Twitch streamer, are you? You're giving away so much more for the chance with the OnlyFans stuff. And also, if you want to do that, I don't have a problem if you're honest and upfront about the situation and don't just shill a fake dream. Like if you want to say, oh yeah, here's my referral link, before you click it though and go ahead and set it up, here's some of the downsides and issues you should be aware of. Here's the truth about it all. That's fine.
Around it. I'd have to like gamify it a little bit and then perhaps autograph it. I feel like which is a great transition into so you had a product come out this year that I was fascinated with. And every time I look at something, it's through a content creator lens. It's not necessarily through a consumer's lens. I'm like, damn, this girl really just sold her own fleshlight. And
so yeah, that's an interesting question, isn't it? Right? About it's the same thing, right? Why is it then that female streamers that don't do sexualized stuff were freaking out so much about AI deepfakes of them if it's exactly the same thing? Do you know what I mean? Like clearly there's some essence to like having your naked body online that makes it different to just streaming, because you have people like Cutie Cinderella freaking out about the very idea that their fake naked body would be on the internet, let alone their real body. But the idea that there were fake nudes of them being perpetuated freaked them the fuck out, because yes, the idea of being naked on the internet and people being able to see that and pleasure themselves with it, there's something about that that's worse than just being a fucking streamer. Chud is back. Not going to lie, after such a long gap, I thought he'd finally done it. Yeah, I think a lot of people think I'd topped myself. I said I was away, and I said when I was coming back. I don't know why people are surprised. Okay.
Freaking perfect. Genius, right? Sells out. They're gone. I don't know if there's going to be more.
Oh, did you see it?
I don't own one, but I did see.
Oh, you said it was perfect. I wasn't sure.
No, I mean, I didn't get sent one to advertise it. Believe me, I will advertise almost anything. But I did not get sent one. I don't have any firsthand knowledge now. I mean,
no, I was gone for like a week. I was gone for, I missed what? 7 days or 2 weeks. What the fuck?
If you would have sent me one, I could have spoke to that. But so like, I assume you'll make more, maybe not. How does that?
I mean, there'll probably be a second run as well with some other types of products.
Some other molding stuff, maybe
in that market. Yeah.
Wait, is he talking about a vagina mold? What the fuck?
I did not get sent one. I don't have any firsthand knowledge now. I mean, if you would have sent me one, I could have spoke to that. But so like, I assume you'll make more, maybe not. How does that?
I mean, there'll probably be a second run.
Is he talking about a vagina mold? Wait, I need to go back more. What the fuck is that?
You said it was perfect, so I wasn't sure.
No, I mean, I didn't get sent one to advertise it. Believe me, I will advertise almost anything. But I did not get sent one. I don't have any firsthand knowledge now. I mean, if you would have sent me one, I could have spoke to that. But so like,
is he talking about a pocket pussy? What
special edition? Sorry. It would have to be.
Wait.
Many girls out there. The market is so talking under. Don't make any money.
Okay, well, I'm talking with. By the way, if you're tuning in on Rumble or on YouTube, or you're watching this later on, which is another great marketing decision because that's and non-spicy. I'm starting to get. I know, mold my dick too. That would be, again, it would have to be special.
I'm listening.
Edition.
I'm listening.
It would have to be. I have to have like a collector's steel book that goes around it. I'd have to like gamify it a little bit, and then perhaps, autograph it. I feel like there is. Which is a great transition into so you had a product come out this year that I was fascinated with, and every time I look at something, it's through a content creator lens. It's not necessarily through a consumer's lens. I'm like, damn, this girl really just
Amouranth, I promise you, I'm not thinking about fucking your pocket pussy. I'm thinking about the money-making opportunities of your pocket pussy, okay? I'm not thinking about fucking it. I promise you that. What the
sold
fuck,
her own fleshlight. And freaking perfect. Genius, right? Sells out. They're gone. I don't know if there's going to be more.
Oh, did you see it?
I don't own one, but I did see.
You said it was perfect, so I wasn't sure.
No, I mean, I didn't get sent one to advertise it. Believe me, I will advertise almost anything. But I did not get sent one. I don't have any firsthand knowledge now. I mean, if you would have sent me one, I could have spoke to that. But so like, I assume you'll make more.
This has got okay. I don't want to. How is this allowed, man? Like it's gone ballistic, crazy shit. What? I don't know what to say anymore. It's just fucking absurd, isn't it? But no, let's talk about how great a pocket pussy is, shall we?
Maybe not.
How I mean, there'll probably be a second run as well with some other types of products.
Some other molding stuff, maybe
in that market. Yeah.
Look at how is he talking about it like this, man? It is unbelievable. Maybe some other molding stuff. What about your fucking asshole, Amouranth? I want the fucking Amouranth asshole fucking cock sleeve. Dude, what is going on in this interview? God, I'm glad his audience is absolutely fucking roasted him for this shit.
There's actually a really interesting side project coming up. There's a company, like a drink company, that wants to make beer out of my vagina yeast. That's a real thing.
Wow, I love it. I love it. This is what I'm talking about. When I talk to you offline, I was like, the grift in me is strong.
How can he say he loves that? What is chat saying to that?
Like, I love that. And you send me a can. Like,
I'll send you a case.
Bro, whoa, no.
Go up on the stage and I'll go up on the set. I will probably display it because I think that I mean, that's next level. I mean, we've seen bathwater do well.
Look at this. Look at this. Confronting. Wow. Yeah, Amouranth is really being confronted with the complete and total agreeing and acceptance of her idea to make fucking beer out of a pussy yeast. Oh wow, what great confrontation that's happening right now.
I think another, shout out to another pretty good marketer with the bathwater. I think that was Belle Delphine. I don't know if she was the first to do it or not or whatever. And then there was the farts and jars thing, which almost killed a woman. And
so they say.
Yeah, allegedly, great marketing
Allegedly.
too. But yeah. So I was just selling so many.
She just farting up a storm.
Yeah. I mean, maybe, but like, I think that what's interesting to me. So okay, oh my god, okay, that probably caught me off guard. But the is there anything you can share that is like that doesn't make you uncomfortable? How is the process of making that? Was it more or less in depth than you thought it would be?
It was actually, I guess it was less in depth than I thought it would be, to be honest. Because essentially, I can describe it in terms everyone can relate to. It's kind of like human paper mache. So they make, paper mache, like a glue paste, and you put like strips of newspaper or whatever. The same concept, except it was, I guess, the molding, paste, or like, because it's liquid
whatever that was,
until it hardens. And it actually it felt really nice. It was like creamy peanut butter that got left in the car too long, so it was all melty and warm.
Okay.
Kind of like almost like it was like therapeutic a little bit. But anyways, they put that on you when you're just like spread eagle on a table. It's like a doctor table, like a patient table. You're leaning back, and
I'm telling you, right? That was probably some fucking admin person that, right? Sandra, listen, if you want to keep your job, get your fucking pussy out. I put this paste on you. You're going to be my pocket pussy, okay? I'm telling you, there's no way she would have done that herself.
Your legs are up. Then this woman is just like using like canvas strips, almost like they look kind of like ace bandages, I guess. And she's putting it on after the paste, and they're like, the paste is like hardening. And then she pulls it off, and it's like a plaster mold thing.
Weird. Oh yeah, someone in chat called it weirdopeutic. That's probably like that's probably a decent definition of it. So yeah, for people that don't know, she released her own, I don't want to call it, her own toy, because I don't think it was branded. It's your own product, right?
Well, it was through Doc Johnson. So
see, look, this person's correct. If he was serious, he should be asking about the abusive husband accident and what happened after. All he's doing is softball questions and simping. This is sad. Based courting audience.
Through Doc Johnson, okay.
Yeah.
And I think that was extremely interesting. And I have another question, not related to that, without getting too saucy. By the way, downbad.com, you can check out all of Amouranth's links.
During that time, though, one more thing, I was really curious. And so I'm like, I was laying there while they were doing this, because you have to sit there for like 10 minutes while it hardens or whatever. And I was like thinking that this woman has seen so many holes in her life. This is her day job, And I was like, I'm just curious, how does mine rate compared to the average? Expert. And she's like, 5 stars, honey. Easy. 10 out of 10. I was like, all right. I don't know if she's saying that, but it made me feel good.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. You don't have to really like every girl that tells a guy that she's the best they've ever had. Don't pick at it. Just be okay with that. I think that's okay.
Usually you got to pay money to see Amouranth get glazed this hard. I'm honestly shocked by how insanely soft this interview is. I was it's the fucking quartering, Mr. Culture Warrior himself. But no, it's all like, oh, you're so based. How are you not more rich and famous than you are? I love you.
So one of the articles I sent you was about, I don't know if I actually sent you an article, just a question about, there was an article put out just 2 days ago about a recent crackdown on kind of the ear licking ASMR content. Now, I'm somebody who consumes ASMR content. I enjoy it.
Oh, by the way, I saw that, was it Keemstar or something, shared a picture of the fart ASMR thing. That's a long time ago. I don't think there's been any drama about the ASMR stuff recently, unless I missed something. This was only yesterday. But I don't think there's been anything, has there? That I've seen. I mean, maybe tell me if I'm wrong. I don't think there's been any recent controversy or drama about ear licking ASMR or crackdown on it.
But I do not, the ear licking stuff would never really, it's not for me. There's an element of that gets a little more sexual.
It's not for me either. It's for a certain audience.
Yeah. It's right. I mean, I enjoyed there used to be this old, shout out to a girl called ASMR Requests. I think I don't know if she ever she did these like high production, like traveling through space ASMR stuff. I thought it was so great. It was just great to put on and listen to. But there's been this like crazy crackdown now, where people are like, oh my God, this content's been going on for like years. Do you think
what is this? What? I don't even know how I'd find it. Was it in like... Where was it?
the offended will ever catch up to those that are innovating in the space and kind of creating this type of content?
What do you mean by the offended?
Like, so they're winding. There's an
Welcome
article on the
to
Daily Mail 2 days
Chud is
ago, but I
back.
mean, this ear-licking
Time for me to
ASMR
get
is
irrationally
Hey!
angry at people I don't know for no reason.
Thank you for the sub. That's exactly what it's all about.
Welcome to Departure Space Tours.
I needed to have a man in if I'm going to watch ASMR. I can't do it if it's a woman. Too weird. Just a man drinking beer. You know, that's the kind of ASMR I want.
already like passe. Like, I'm not sure a lot of people still create a ton of it.
Oh, because it's been cracked down on for a while. That's not really new.
Okay.
Twitch cracked down on that, I think like a year ago, and so I stopped doing it. And then I was like one of the first ones to get, I guess, because it was like a suspension just randomly from, but they don't describe what it is, right?
Yeah, fucking. What's the fucking the soy jack, British soy jack racist guy? What's that meme called? I can't remember. I want that ASMR at the pub. Drinking beer, talk about immigrants. I'm not racist, but I don't like them. But in ASMR. North FC ASMR. That's what I'm into.
Whenever I get a suspension, and they're always vague, I just take a big step back. I'll try to evaluate what I was doing that day, what could have crossed a gray area, and I'll just take a big step back. But a lot of people don't do that, even when I warn them directly. I'm like, hey, I got a suspension. I think it was this. Just letting you know, because I let girls know that sometimes from my friends. And they'll be like, oh, okay. And then they'll keep doing it. And then they'll do surprise peek face when eventually they get clapped too. Like, what? I got suspended? Like, I tried to tell you that like 5 months ago, honey. But
yeah.
Well,
when the cash is rolling, though, it's really hard to, when something's going good. It's even
as
as like
you can get away with it. Yeah, it's hard too, because the whole, I guess, the suspension thing really has its pros and cons of like being a big streamer, because like, yeah, you're big, you have a lot more success, but then you also have more people having their eyeballs on it reporting you. So if anyone gets the finger pointed at them by mommy and daddy at Twitch, it's the people with more viewers. So
I suppose that's true, and they will often take on, they'll make examples of certain people, which is, suspending somebody with 150 followers doesn't really matter. Right. So one of the things that I thought, over the years, my position, when I asked about like what's commonly misperceived, and that you basically said is that it's easy, just be pretty, take a picture of your butthole, make money. It doesn't really work like that. Most people supplement their income who are very successful at it. Like, look at the Cash Me Outside girl, right? She was on Dr. Phil, nobody knew, and she turned 18 and she made a ton of money. By the way, fellas, come on.
Well, isn't she a rapper too, though?
Yeah, I guess. I mean,
yeah, that's why she's already popular. Yeah, it's not just she was on Dr. Phil as a kid and then.
Oh, she already had. Okay.
Yeah, she was already an established musician.
I guess I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I don't follow the 17-year-old female rapper space very much, but I also don't follow rap at all in general. So
based. That bit was
I
based.
think that what's interesting is when I wonder why.
I mean, the idea she was an established musician. She got big off of the Dr. Phil controversy, okay? And people look past the age situation and just like the fact she was this mouthy fucking teenager or whatever, and a bunch of weird dudes waited till she turned 18 to get the fucking OnlyFans going. I think that's more what happened there. But I could be wrong. I don't know the ins and outs of her music career, but I think that a lot of people got to know her from the Dr. Phil stuff. And they saw an opportunity to get in the fucking ground level on a freshly minted 18-year-old, newly turned 18-year-old OnlyFans.
And I appreciate your willingness to talk. Like, I know, like, chats, my channel has plenty of videos, talking about this, and I've been clear about my position is that, like, I don't hate the player, I hate the game, and that I wish more men would spend their time focusing on themselves.
Wait. What the fuck? That is so surreal. I thought this was live and one of you was fucking with me. That's so surreal. I just literally scrolled down to see what chat was doing, and I'm getting fucking referenced. What's going on? Amouranth, there's compelling evidence out there on Reddit and YouTube. Chud Logic, I'm the source. Chud Logic, I'm the fucking source, okay? That you scam. Actually, it was the fucking Redditor that said it. I just read it out. That you scam your fans on OnlyFans. Can you tell us why you feel comfortable in scamming them at scales that you did? Based question from that chatter. Honestly. That's so weird. I didn't expect to get brought up in chat, but there we are. I guess my video has reached a bit further than I thought it did.
And I worry about this parasocial relationship, which probably exists between fans and even me too. I don't, I may not know it, and it exists. So there's this epidemic. I didn't. This just kind of popped in my head. Where like, what do you?
Well, scam. The word scam does get overused. Basically, it was a criticism of Amouranth because she presents the idea on her OnlyFans that she does hardcore scenes, but it's not actual hardcore scenes. When I say to you a hardcore scene, the presumption is a man and a woman having full penetrative sex, okay? But it's with a fake plastic dick. There was a whole fucking Reddit post calling it out. And it's like that just is like, that's like misleading advertising, isn't it? And people feel a bit shady to call it out because it feels a bit weird. But no, it's absolutely reasonable to criticize someone for claiming that their content is something that it isn't. It's like false advertising, isn't it? The important issue of our times. Listen, there's men out there sat in their fucking goon caves, okay, ready to fucking go, putting on fucking Amouranth's content, expecting some hardcore action to fuel their goon sesh, and it's not happening. Do you know what a fucking travesty that is?
I think, modern men, I worry about them. Like young men, they're more single than ever. There are more men than ever that, even in my friend circle that are.
Yes, she advertises compilations of old content as new videos. And, it's just, if you're paying Meta PCs, is that actually Meta PCs? What the fuck?
Single and good earning, they make maybe $80,000 to $120,000 a year.
Yeah, I'm like Better Call Saul for gooners, basically. Have you been misled by an OnlyFans whore? Were you told a hardcore scene was a hardcore scene, but really it was a plastic cock? Were you promised a blowjob scene, but were disappointed to see a dildo? Come to Chud Logic Incorporated, and we will find you compensation for misleading advertising. In the past 5 years, if you've been misled by an OnlyFans whore, come to Chud Logic Incorporated, and we will file a litigation against them in order to recoup some of your costs.
Just not dating any women. They're not dating women anymore. And the men, what do you think has led to that? The men kind of opting out of the dating pool. I don't think it's as simple as saying, oh, well, there's porn, because that's always existed. Do you think that men have fulfilled this need for connection with parasocial relationships, or do you think there's something more at play there?
I don't think it's that they're filling their need with parasocial relationships, so they're not seeking it. I think they've sought.
Jeremy, I worry about modern men. Also, Jeremy, go to downbad.com and buy Amos yeast beer and fleshlight that is totally hers. No possible chance. True.
It had rejection or are finding it incredibly hard to seek because, we live in a digital age. So social skills on average are just lower, but women aren't as affected because women aren't the ones expected to initiate. Women can talk to women, guys want to talk to women. Like women never have to be the brave one to initiate social things. They don't have to stand out. They don't have to be funny. They don't have to even have good social skills at all. They can just be pretty and they react to people talking to them. But because people are being raised now, like on the internet, and like everything is, kind of just, you can access all of it in your bedroom. You're not going out as much, especially with the COVID that affected a lot of the young people. So it's like people just aren't socializing anymore like they used to. And so social skills in general for everybody are down, not just men. Men are just the ones who are society expects them to initiate.
This is a classic, isn't it? When a girl buys a vibrator, it's seen as a bit of naughty fun. But when a guy orders a 240 volt Fuckmaster Pro 5000 blow up latex doll with 6-speed pulsating vagina, elasticized anus with non-drip semen collection tray, together with optional built-in realistic orgasm screen surround sound system, he's called a pervert. Just more misandry. Just more misandry in our society.
And they're not. But women aren't initiating either. That's just not their job, so no one cares.
Yeah, I mean, society, that's you touched on something that I've talked about, that there's this double standard around men where, and like, there is this feeling like, man, I don't want her to go post online and call me a creep. Like, guys don't shoot their shot anymore. I know this from women I've talked to who are single. Like, guys are like afraid to go shoot their shot because they're like, the media, the whole like toxic masculinity push things. Like, I live in the Midwest in a small town. Buying a girl a drink is not a microaggression where I live. It's just buying someone a drink, opening the door to talk to them. But it seems like men are like beaten down. They don't want to be called creepy. They don't want to be called this and that, and so that they're opting out. It worries me long term about. I mean, women will end up single too, of course, but like I think for good men out there, society has really pushed them to be. Is there any coming back from this? They used to be cool and base to buy a girl a drink. So what? She shot you down, big whoop. It cost you $3. But now it's like, oh man, I don't know. This is frowned upon now. But or it's frowned upon to pickup lines used to be a thing.
Right.
But that's like frowned upon now. Do you think there's any coming back from that, like the chivalry era, or where this stuff is accepted, or
only if it becomes a TikTok trend, then it'll come back. But until then, I don't know. Honestly, not sure. Because it's like,
oh my god, the more I really wanted to talk about the fucking intricacies of whether you can buy a woman a drink without being accused of rape. Yes, please, more of this.
Technology space just expands. The more ways people are finding to kill their time instead of going out and learning skills and social.
Yeah, I want to know where you can get a drink for $3. Let's go. Fucking let's get loaded up.
So I don't know.
What do you think? I think even as a guy, like, I mean, these AI like dolls are coming along pretty nicely, and I worry that men are just going to say, oh, you know what, this gets me 80% of the way there, and I'm checking out. And I think that it worries me that society has, in my opinion, vilified just men shooting their shot. It went from like there's legitimate toxicity in being a piece of garbage. Okay, that happens.
Right. I think online this is more of a problem. Like, one thing that I absolutely despise on like Twitter is this habit now where, like, to me, if you're on like Tinder or something like that, there should be an expectation of privacy there. There's no reason that you should expect your messages you send on Tinder to get blown up. If someone does something that bad, you would take it to the fucking police. But like, if you got a bit of a cringe opener, or you're a bit like this way or that way and not quite doing it right, it's reasonable that you would expect the person would just unmatch you and move on. But now there's this habit where it's like, oh, look at this picture of a person with their first name and look at what they said to me on Tinder. Why are you like broadcasting that out there for all to see? That just seems like wild to me, to just to like mock someone who's got a bit of a cringe pickup line or something like that. It's not as if you've been fucking raped. You can literally just click unmatch and you'll never see them or hear from them ever again in your entire fucking life. But now we got to put them on blast on the internet, apparently. It's just so fucking cancerous that it feels like every fucking turn, you're looking as a man, it's like, oh, right, well, there's someone getting mocked for having shit gay. Like, and this is stuff that does affect people, People will look at that, and it's behavior like that I think will have a negative sort of detriment and stuff. You've kind of got to avoid the online space and just deal with, like, because most people aren't going to do that. If you just engage with it without looking at Twitter and shit like that, you'll be fine. But as you're engaged, yeah. And West Elm Caleb is a fucking great example of this as well, where if a man engages in the kind of behavior that a woman would engage in the dating market, that's seen as bad. All West Elm Caleb did was fuck around a bit and date around a little bit. He didn't do anything wrong, but he got put on blast by these retarded fucking TikTok whores because apparently he was a bad guy when all he was doing was dating different women and dating around a little bit and wasn't kind of, connecting himself too strongly to any particular woman. Something that women do all the fucking time. But West Elm Caleb was a bad guy for doing it, apparently. It's like, this is turning into a fucking incel stream now. But if a man does to a woman what a woman does to a man in the dating scene, it's seen as bad enough to be called out. When that is a very fucking standard thing, that a woman will talk to you, talk to other guys, date you, date someone else, etc., etc.,
But then there's also like, let's go to the other side. And I'll get you, I know you've got many things to do today, so I'll get you out of here. But what do you think about, have you seen any of this kind of like modern red pill movement?
Oh, it's not all of the interview. That's fine.
Yeah, this like why do you think that we've seen a resurgence? It seems almost to counteract the rise of OnlyFans type content is similar to the rise of this kind of modern red pill. Women shouldn't vote, and I don't
see a lot of that. I actually don't see much misogyny, and I see more of guys just advocating on like self-improvement more. That's the more mainstream. I very rarely do I see misogyny creators or like people having that kind of take, because they know that they're going to get canceled.
Is it just me, or does it feel like she's pandering a bit to the TheQuarting's audience? I don't know. Like, the idea that that's all you're seeing is just, for someone in Amouranth's position, seems totally fucking delusional. But maybe I'm just being a bit harsh on her. I don't know. Seems like she's pandering though. Seems like she's doing, oh, well, mainly it's about self-improvement. God, his audience is not happy.
Do that shit. But
that's true. Yeah, you
but
can't
also,
do that.
it's like a very small fraction. Most of the ones I see are just being like, get off your fucking ass, go to the gym, be a better man, learn to dress nice, learn to talk to girls. Like, I actually think for the most part, the movement that we've been seeing lately is probably a good thing. It's better than like, you know, stay in your home and game. You don't want to be like in Japan, you know, most of the guys, they don't interact at all. They like stay in their home constantly with their little digital waifus.
Yeah, I think that it is an answer to the emasculation of men. I think that most of what like this modern red pill era is good, self-improvement stuff. Then it gets into the area of some complicated, you know, one of the big things in the red pill movement is body count, right? Body count isn't a thing for men, but for some reason it's a thing for women. And you know, I think
that's a very primal thing though. Like I kind of understand that on like, and I was also raised in a conservative, like Christian household. So even beyond the religious thing though, like I understand the primal thing, because it's like, you know, that happens in animals too, right?
What is going on? This is like a softball interview with someone that's trying to pander to the audience, from my perspective anyway. God, this interview's been so disappointing. I honestly wasn't expecting it to be this level. I thought it was going to be a little bit hard. I mean, I wasn't expecting like him to be a complete dickhead to her, but at least ask a few challenging questions.
A lion comes into a pride and kills all the cubs from a different lion. Like, it's just, there's something biological about like not feeling right.
Yeah, I mean, the body count, I just, you know, I feel like this topic's been done to death. I don't know why he's bringing it to Amouranth. Seems really retarded, and we've talked about it loads. But I'm not even going to speak on it. I don't care.
About a woman who has had like potentially other males' kids. Like, I don't know. It's just something that is in the DNA to some extent. But some people can like past it. But there's a lot of guys who don't want to. And, you know, I mean, if that's how you want to live your life, whatever. I don't really care.
Yeah, I think that yeah, see, this is another based Amouranth nugget that was that's coming out of this. And you know, I think that's
You're
true.
so based, Amouranth. You're so based.
The sensationalist particular swing on this type of content is popular. You know, I've always been like, it takes two to tango. So like, if her body count is 20, then that's 20 dudes that also participate in that, and then like only one side of it actually gets, you know, degraded for it. But you know, you are right that there is something to that. I have friends that won't date women with kids. I don't think it's that big of a deal, but
I think everyone should be shit on for having a high body count. Particularly, do you know who gets away with it too easy? If you ask me, the homosexuals. Far too easy do they get away with it, you know? Some of these fellas are into some insane shit. Have you seen the movie about that queer fella that sang in Queen? What's his name? Freddie Mercury. He was having fucking, you know, it was like, oh, Freddie Mercury got AIDS. Yeah, he got AIDS by fucking about 1 billion guys. What the fuck? Jesus. I know there was a bit of homophobia about the AIDS stuff, but like, you know, some of that was excessive. But there were some gay fellas that were just fucking left, right, and center, and they got AIDS. Like, yeah, that's fucking bad, isn't it?
Actually, I respect where they're at with that, and I respect
you got the
where
gift.
like you know, why they feel that way, because you're right. I think it is just like this primal thing. Like they just don't want it.
Look into bug parties. I don't need to look into bug parties. I'm already well fucking knowledgeable about it. I know all about bug chasing. If I were to do Mastermind, which is a British game show where they ask you a bunch of questions about your specialist topic, mine would be bug chasing, and I'll be able to tell you fucking all about it. It's a crazy fucking behavior. I should watch the bug chasing documentary on Kick. That'd be good. I should do that. I've watched it already on YouTube. I'll watch it on Kick as well. Fuck it. Oh, and I need to watch that black guy buck breaking as well. Oh, there's so much stuff to watch on Kick, man. Anyway. Yeah, I'm going to be streaming on Kick on Monday. We'll see if we can squeeze it all in. Buck breaking would be great content to watch.
And I guess no amount of virtue signaling is going to change how they feel.
Yeah, and I see a lot of women especially like mistake that for insecurity and jealousy and control kind of thing, when I think it's just something that like makes guys feel bad. They don't feel like special. They you know, they might feel like, did you just settle for him or using him for money or whatever? It does lead to a lot of questions, right? Because it's like it's just human. It doesn't make him like not a confident as a man. He can still be confident normally, but then like have emotional worries because he cares about you. It's not necessarily that he's an insecure person. It's that he cares about you and wants his feelings validated, that you love him and only him. Like I feel like that's normal. You know, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think it's.
I do feel like she's pandered a bit, but whatever. She's saying the right thing. Good, whatever. I don't know, man. Maybe she genuinely believes this. That's the problem with women and their duplicitous nature. But honestly, I'm finding it difficult to tell whether she's being genuine or she is just pandering.
I think you're 100% right. One last question I wanted to get, because this is something that I think is going to destroy both of our careers in the mid to short.
How can you tell a woman's lying? A lips move. Oh, we love that, don't we? We love a bit of anti-woman on this channel, don't we? I tell you what, the age of misogyny is coming to an end. Okay, the Giga Chad era is going to come to an end at some point, and then what are we going to be left with?
Terms, I'll be buying some gas stations here soon. But how do you think AI is going to affect your space? It's something that, I mean, I think
women, guys, am I right?
Warner Brothers just signed their first AI musician yesterday. There's an article. Certainly the AI photos are getting there. They're not quite there, but there are like AI Twitter accounts that sell spicy photos. There's AI that's going into these sex dolls, which is going to get better. It's like at a rapid rate, like that's getting better. How do you think that impacts just content creation, not just maybe OnlyFans stuff, but
why not? Okay, maybe he will ask about the the AI nude drama. That would be a great thing to ask Amouranth about. Chud, she said the red pill is mostly about self-improvement. I think the jury called this one ages ago. You're telling me Amouranth is completely unaware of the controversy around Tate, when even the BBC did a whole interview on it. Oh yeah, it seems like complete, as you say, cap. I agree. Because I do not believe that a content creator of Amaranth's level has got no idea about Andrew Tate. And the idea, like, the whole conversation about the red pill stuff is centered around Andrew Tate and his actions at the moment. Like, he's the center of it all. So to just act like it's just about self-improvement is crazy to me. Just feels like she's kind of like giving cover to red pill stuff because she's on the quartering stream. I don't know. Just seems unnecessary. Anyway, come on, we're nearly through it. I'm surprised we managed to watch all of this. I've actually got a kick out of just complaining about how bad it is. But I hope you've enjoyed it as well, even though it's been a bit shit.
Being
good YouTube content too
in 2023. Do you think about AI at all?
Oh yeah, I actually dabble a bit in AI stuff currently. I have some projects coming up, but
I saw you have a chat. You have an AI chat thing, which
yeah, I have that, and then I also have like there's like video, like kind of like video game companies that are like making like they have like AI girls, and they're basing some of the models like on actual people like myself. So basically, my view is for established creators, especially in the sexy girl space, it is a godsend. Because if you're basically able to have a digital clone of yourself that could never stop working, making money for you while you live your life, while you sleep, doing whatever, and it's locking.
Oh, you think she knows that red pill people watch her and give her lots of money? That's why she doesn't want to criticize it.
And physical immortality, if it's like a like a digital.
I didn't know you were pro-slavery.
So digital, little
AI things.
Little AI girls. Oh, sure.
Okay, absolutely. Okay, all right. I like that. Yeah, I know that a couple of the females that I work with, like I share my business partners of, they're the first that were kind of targeted with these AI chat. I've definitely got emails from people who are like, "Oh, you do an AI chatbot," and I was like, "No one's going to pay for me," but I definitely knew people would pay. It's interesting that. Just how quickly you can usually tell with the hands when you look at photos that are AI, but they're getting
some of them you can tell,
close.
but they are getting better. They're getting better rapidly. So, yeah, I think it's going to cause problems for the political space, maybe. But
oh yeah, definitely.
But for like content creators, like girl content creators, especially OnlyFans girls, it's like, it's almost like advertisement. Even if people make fake content of you, like if you're not consenting to it, it sucks. But if there's other people out there like. Making like, oh, I based this off of this creator, this AI porn or whatever. It's almost like.
Actually, she is tapping on something here, which I've said before, which is astute content creators will take advantage of AI to their benefit. And it seems like that's the mentality she's got. So fair play for that. Seems like she's thinking, well, if someone does AI of me, then that just promotes me and people will come to me to see the real deal. But to be honest with you, they'll probably be disappointed with her content because it's all fake bullshit, isn't it? Oh, guys, I'm going to be sucking a dick today. Another plastic bit of fucking knob. My video about it's really good. Go and watch it, okay? That Reddit guy. Did that Reddit guy send me an email? I think he sent me an email and said, oh, thanks for covering my Reddit post. Some fucking gooner. Some goon sesh fucking guy.
Marketing, but...
Yeah, I feel bad. I remember there was that big scandal not that long ago, the deep fakes. Yeah. And then some streamer got caught. And I don't want to like put anyone on blast, but I thought it was pretty hilarious that they wouldn't have had to like issue this apology. It was very weird. You know,
why is he like, I don't want to just put someone on blast. Who cares? Atrioc was the guy, wasn't it? Atrioc. God, that was such a good drama, man. Atrioc stuff was good. I think, listen, this is my schizo brain. I think that the fixers are in on LSF. I think there's something going on. When was the last time we had a big drama drop like that? We had all the Fousey shit, but Fousey's like an outsider. It feels like the fixers are in. Something's going on, I'm telling you. The big streamers have got their claws into LSF and all the fucking good shit's getting sidelined. I'm telling you, a bunch of people have been raped and we're not hearing about it, okay? The XQC stuff got removed, I think, maybe, but maybe that was because it was repetitive or something. I don't know, man. Maybe. At the first, they were post about it, but yeah, it kind of died down quite a bit. XQC got pressed by a crackhead in London. We don't have crackheads over here, okay? That wasn't a crackhead.
So guys watch porn. When it's your friend that you're watching videos.
Yeah. And then there was a whole like, oh, you're giving people awareness now because you have an audience, and that sucks.
There's nothing you can do.
Deepfake, I feel like, is different though. Deepfake is like people, you know, it's like deepfake it feels a lot more targeted and harassment way versus AI. The creator themselves can use it, you know, for their own content.
I assume you're somebody that's been deepfaked. I haven't Googled it, but I assume
I've seen really bad ones, but people don't really feel the need to because I have really.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so it's more
spicy when you're like
as an alternative when you want someone done.
Yeah, that's perfect, didn't it? I knew there was some clip or something. So this is in London. That is literally perfect content for me because I can tell you all about the UK shit.
Doesn't have it.
Yeah,
we can't get anything else. It's like digital fan fiction basically. But yeah, no, I think AI is terrible though for new creators. If you're not already an established.
Wait, what did he Google? Sorry, I missed that. Wait.
Fake. I haven't Googled it, but I assume
I've seen really bad ones, but people don't really feel that.
You know he has. You know he's fucking had a look at that, hadn't he? Oh, I wonder what insert streamers here's gash looks like in an AI deepfake model.
I need to because I have real content already.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
too.
It's more
spicy when you're
like as an alternative when someone doesn't have it.
Yeah,
we can't get anything else. It's like digital fan fiction basically. But yeah, no, I think AI is terrible though for new creators. If you're not already an established brand, how do you compete? Especially with girls. How do you compete when there's hundreds of fake girls who don't have to have realistic body proportions at all? They're all like beautiful and unique, and there's such a variety. Like it's impossible to stand out when your competition is literally digital perfection.
That's one of the things that I've said that where the AI is going to go is they're going to like scroll like my Twitter feed. And some pretty girl is going to DM me and be like, oh.
Chud's been away for too long. Can't pay attention. He's lost his edge. I've only been away for like a week. Jesus. People go away sometimes. What's going on? You're setting me up for a very toxic mentality, thinking I've got to be here all the time.
I'm totally into indie rock music too. I like Sufjan Stevens, and I'm a big Trump girl too, but don't tell anyone. And it's going to be like, it's going to figure out like
catfishing at a new level.
Yes, it's going to figure out exactly. And then I'm going to go to their Twitter feed.
I
and
often
they're going to be
distracted.
like based and red pilled. And then I'm going to be like, oh, I'm in love. And then like, oh, just buy me a coffee, whatever it is. Like, but they'll be able to deploy 100,000 of them at a time. Like, I think that at scale, if you aren't already, I think that established creators are fine.
I don't have ADHD. I've got no mental deficiencies. Okay. That I'm currently diagnosed with, at least. I am A-okay, doing great. Maybe a touch of dementia because I keep forgetting stuff. But that's because I probably only had like 4 hours sleep last night. I don't even know what happened. I was just like couldn't sleep. Then I did go to sleep and I woke up. I was like, fuck, I've only had 4 hours sleep. Then I struggled to remember things.
Fine, probably, and they'll be able to leverage it. But like you said, I think if you're new and you're competing against digital perfection and also somebody that never has to rest.
I went away with my kids. I was supposed to go to another country, but I didn't in the end. There was a problem. So I ended up in a British holiday camp. Just like in the older movies you used to see.
That can work 24/7, that can multi-thread and be DMing people and all this stuff. You've got almost no chance. Like in 5 years, I don't know how humanoid people trying to break into the space are going to be able to compete because it's, I've seen some of the pictures, like it's like, oh, this is, I mean, I can kind of tell because like, oh, this is too perfect. Like normal girls, when you get old like me, you're like, well, normal girls have this or that or other thing that you can, like.
Wait. Chud doesn't have ADHD, but lack of concentration is a symptom of depression. Oh my God. I've got an addiction. That's my problem. To heroin. No, I don't really. I was shooting up when I was away. Kids were off seeing a show. I was fucking shooting heroin, black tar heroin directly into my fucking eyeballs. Anyway, what I was going to say, you should take more breaks. It was so much more productive in your absence. I'm going to be away next in late October. Basically, my time off tends to be around the school holidays, basically, the UK school holidays. The rumour is in Reddit, terrible source, is that Jeremy from TheQuartering is divorced. What's that based on?
It's most girls are not like perfect. Most girls don't have, you know.
No, I'm not going to TwitchCon. I can't be. I'm not that jazzed about it this year, and you don't get a discount on the ticket. I'm kind of a bit annoyed with. I'm going off Twitch a bit. They are still my top platform, but other platforms are signaling like a siren towards me. I'm just I'm not too bothered about going, but I am going to be doing a IRL debate at the start of November at some point, so that's going to be fun. I will be in America on business purposes later this year. The other problem with going to America for TwitchCon is the flight over is about £1,000, like $1,200, $1,300, and the event is only a couple of days. So the alternative, which is what I did last year, is I stayed over longer, but then I've got to spend out for like accommodation and stuff like that. But it's what in London? TwitchCon, that's in Las Vegas. And I've just, spent a bunch of fucking money on going away with the kids. And I'm trying to save to buy a house. It's not worth it.
Most girls have some cellulite. Most girls have an inconvenient bruise,
right,
or something like that.
Just human things, human qualities.
Yeah,
it's so annoying.
Yeah,
it's really ruined my immersion.
It is difficult. Yeah, it is difficult. Like seeing something that happens to a mosquito bite or something like that. But they'll be able to AI that away. That'll be they'll be able to AI that away as well too. On Meta PCs said I was promised a Jeremy hot tub stream. Well, I lied. I do have a hot tub, but I thought hot tub's kind of played out. I think I didn't have a floaty banana. I didn't have.
You can't do it. You can't. It's just not going to be content then. No floaty banana.
Yeah, I think right. Well, that's a big part of it. I have to write everybody's names on there. Look, I mean, I think it's kind of to wrap things up because you've been very kind with your time, and I appreciate that. I think that you've been very self-aware, which is I appreciate. I kind of expected this out of you because we've communicated.
God, people are like, I won't be back. Cringe, Jeremy. Giant simp exposed, unsubbed. I mean, that's kind of cringe. Unsubbing over this is cringe if you like Jeremy TheQuarting's content. But I can understand people being a bit miffed and thinking like, well, this is supposed to be confronting and you're being really nice. Being too nice. Total glaze fest. Cancelled by his own community. The thing is as well is like, it's from the way he is as a culture warrior, I just thought he would have been a bit more robust in his questions, but
like offline, like you seem pretty straightforward. And I really appreciate you spending time coming here and sharing your thoughts.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I've not watched Quartering content in a while. Has he become a massive cucked simp? And I didn't realize. I thought he was all about shitting on women and do this kind of thing. But now he's like, oh, you're such a brave, very beautiful, clever businesswoman, and you're getting stalked, and that's bad. And oh, you're so clever. Tell me more about your yeast pussy beer.
I think that I still worry about men and their overly parasocial connections to
me
certain
too. Trust me, I worry about those ones too.
Yeah, well, I mean, like
with my gun cocked and loaded, I worry about them.
Yeah, I think Yeah, I know. Well, nobody sent me a box full of cash. Like one of us has received boxes full of cash, and the other one hasn't.
Like, why? Like, that's a great question, isn't it? You're receiving boxfuls of cash from people on the premise that you were abused by your husband. You could take it down. They're talking about the so-called husband abuse and why our content has remained the same even after this so-called abusive husband has apparently left the picture. Or you could, and on top of that, you could also ask about any sort of checks and balances. Okay. Tegma, listen, I know you're very woke, okay? You might disagree with me on this. I say it's fake. That's my perception on it. You might disagree with this. It's not that it's proven to be fake. It's just that I guess to me, there's an inconsistency in the presentation of the abuse. Yeah, Red Penny knows all about this. We've come to disagreement about this before. But basically, what I mean by fake is I've got some concerns about the legitimacy of the claims made, because Amouranth claimed that her husband made her do certain types of content and she was going to be able to branch out and do whatever she wanted. But literally within a course of a couple of months, she has gone back to doing her basic standard content with the idea that, oh, well, I'm choosing to do it myself. But it just so happens the exact content she's doing is the exact same as what she did when a so-called abusive husband was allegedly pulling the strings. So it's a bit of skepticism about some of the claims that were made. That's what I mean when I say it's fake abuse. Like, they probably did have a shitty relationship. He probably was a shitty person and said shitty things to her. But like the idea, like we only heard half of the conversation. We don't know what she was saying first before we tuned in. He was obviously very agitated. Like, there's a lot that we don't know about it, but it was immediately assumed that he was definitely the bad guy and in the wrong. And you had people sending tens of thousands of dollars to Amouranth in fucking cash. And, you know, there's been no questions about any of that. This is like shit talking former slaves because they didn't stop picking cotton. Wait, what? Okay. Bear in mind, I've been off for a week. There's some stuff Ethan Ralph isn't really a topic I generally will cover. I think maybe I spoke about something recently. But if there's something to watch, I'll watch it. But it's not my normal thing, really. Ethan Ralph's a bit of a fucking oddball for my tastes. Dobby is free. Could the fact that when content creators switch generic categories have anything to do with it as well? Like, if you want full-time to Apex content and pulled away from commentary, you probably lose a bunch of current people, no? Yeah, but then imagine I was a woman and I was there going, oh, my husband is making me do commentary stuff, but I don't want to do it anymore. I want to just do video Apex Legends. And then I did a couple of Apex Legends streams. Then a couple of days later, I was like, oh, I'm just doing commentary stuff again. I don't know if I can really make it work. Do you know what I mean? I'd recommend just going and looking at some of the content about it. There's obviously, questions that have been raised. Her tears were deep faked. I don't think she was faking like necessarily an emotional reaction. You can be emotional about a situation when you have an antagonistic discussion or conversation or argument with a partner or someone you care about. But it doesn't mean that they're the bad person just because you're emotionally upset. It could be, a two-way thing. It could be you're being unreasonable. We only heard half the conversation. Anyway, we're getting close to the end of this.
Right.
And I want to watch the SGC thing before I go.
After we spoke it now, I think we would both agree that, like, fellas, you can enjoy, you can fap. I don't have any problem with that. I'm not like a hardcore, like, hey, whatever.
The final thing I'll say about it is there are ways that someone could talk to you off the mic that could absolutely enrage you, and you get arguably justifiably angry about something, and then the mic switches on and it's just you getting angry, and you sound bad because you're angry when the other person is crying, but you don't know what's been said to get you to that state,
Welcome to Chud Nation.
Hey, Wallace, thank you for the sub. Appreciate it. Woo!
For just everything in life in moderation. But here we have literally Kick's most popular streamer, a multi-millionaire business mogul, gas station owning, vaginal molding. And she agrees.
My most distinguished title yet.
On her gravestone will be one of your one of your molds. But
Yes.
I think actually the gravestone should just be a mold. No,
Yeah,
that's gross.
like a sculpture, like a giant version.
Yeah, but then someone's going to be stopping by, and then it's going to get defiled, and I don't know about all that, but I think
tributes,
that tributes. Oh my god, remember those with the pictures? You probably know about.
And they leave something else. Okay.
Yeah, I think that what I'm happy to hear is that you're not like Cruella DeVille, evil monster. That I think we agree that all things in moderation, fellas. You should still buy that girl a drink. You should still talk to humans in real life. If you had any advice, I'm sure you have females that also enjoy your content too, but my audience is about 93% male. Shout out to the 7% ladies out there. But if you had any advice for the modern male in the current year dating scene, or just talking to women, things like that, because you're a real actual woman. I know it's a questionable thing these days, but I'm fairly certain you're actually a woman. What do you have? What words of wisdom?
I guess so.
Yeah, right.
Or a little trans reference.
Yeah, there is. Yes, it's scientifically. There is physical evidence of her femininity. Do you have any evidence out there, or do you have any words of wisdom to share with the fellas out there?
I actually do.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
I'll shut up then.
Okay. So fellas, a lot of y'all who are like, where do the good women go? Why are they all just feminists and whores and bitches? They're not online. Unfortunately, chronically online men unhappy with the quality of women you're seeking. Most of those are offline. You're going to have to learn social skills and go talk to them. Those aren't the ones complaining on Twitter.
See, this the thing is, I kind of agree that like you're going to have much better joy as a fella going offline and talking to normal people and just engaging in a normal way. But like, that's easy to say. And I'm not expecting Amouranth to have a fucking answer for this, obviously, right? But like, the problem is some people don't have good social skills, so they're going to struggle. And it's like, how do you help with that? Well, you probably got to give more tailored, specific advice and guidance, Advice for women, nothing. They need to go out and build them. Whilst I agree in principle, I honestly think you underestimate just how bad some people are with social skills, particularly if they're like autistic and stuff like that. And let's be honest, most people online have probably got some form of autism that are severely online. And that can be quite disheartening trying to engage in this kind of conversations when you're just fucking it up constantly. And you go online and it's like Andrew Tate is telling you to rape a bitch or something. What's even happening right now? I don't even know what I'm saying anymore.
They're fucking areolas on Instagram. Sorry, you're gonna have to go into places where actual people are.
I talk about this too. Scary. I say join a club. Go join a bowling league, join a horseshoes league, join a bags league, join a cornhole league if you're down south. Join a whatever it is. You got to leave the house.
Yeah, because I view social media as like my job, right? But I was raised conservative Baptist household in Texas, where it's like ranch and freedom. Yeah, America, fuck yeah. Like,
yeah, that's the other thing as well. Is like to practice is probably getting like you need to have a bit of money. You need to have a bit of something, some baseline to work with, right? To go to a bar, to have the confidence to go to people and talk to them and stuff. You're probably better off trying to join like a club or something. I don't know. Oh, my nephew is 17 and him and his friends are all struggling with social development. That takes quite a bit of agency away from the socially inept. I'm not saying that people are just hopeless bedblobs that can't possibly do anything. But it feels like there's a lot of guidance out there that is just tainted by certain ideologies and stuff like that. There's not like, even when the left talk about it, it's like, how can we do it and make people come over to the left? And it's like, there doesn't seem to be this push for like, we'll just tell people what's what and don't worry about the politics stuff. There's always some agenda that seemingly is behind it.
If I wasn't using the internet for my job, I would be one of those girls, never online, never posting anything, off enjoying my own life, having, like a pretty, I would say I'm more of a moderate as far as my political views go, but as far as my lifestyle goes, it would actually be pretty conservative. Like, it's just my culture, I guess, in Texas, a bunch of white people,
Yeah, well, hey, I'll tell you what, ladies who want to land someone like me, I'm the same way. Like when I'm not working, I'm just out doing.
Also, right. It is like if you spend a lot of your time online, like I experienced this last week, because I obviously spent a lot of my time online doing this. But obviously, I've got a lot of, I've got a lot of bullshit. Which part? What do you mean? Anyway, when you go and speak to real people in the real world, which I've done for like the last week, it's so different. Like, people are just so normal. I know I don't really have to explain it. Do you know what I mean? But it's so different to the experience that you get when you like talk to and engage with people online. Oh, the Jeremy goes outside. Yeah, he is a particularly online character from the sounds of it. Yeah, you just, you know, when you engage with and speak to people out there in the wider world that aren't terminally online and don't spend all their time on fucking Twitter and Discord and shit like that, it's like such a different social experience, where if all of your skill set and conversation is about online stuff, going out there and just having a normal interaction is so jarring, because people are just like just normal. Do you know what I mean by that? Those of you that have got the problem with online probably don't understand. But it's like so far removed, you know, particularly some of this crazy progressive shit. Like, some of the crazy progressive shit you see is just, if you said that to people on out there, they'd be like, what the fuck? Like, you're nuts. You're crazy. What's wrong with you? Even like the entertainment that people engage with, you know, it is online. It would be considered far right fascist shit, but it's just normie shit that people enjoy, you know? I don't know what I'm trying to say.
I'm 40. I'm the youngest guy on my board.
Come on, I've had enough of talking.
And like, I don't care because it's something I go do, or darts league, or I do all this like regular stuff, and I meet real people. And here's the reality: no woman IRL has ever called me a misogynist, or who's ever turned down a drink, like, or like, you know, whatever, or has ever, you know, not want to talk, or whatever. Like, women exist IRL who are not terminally online, and the same for men, I guess. She's saying, you know, too, like, you know, ladies out there, there are men who are not terminally online.
Wait a second. Do you have darts in America? That to me is a very British pastime. Little bit of bully. Wasn't this the guy who used to piss down his own pants? No, TheQuartering pissed. I don't understand the mistake. He actually pissed into a grate in his basement whilst playing video games. Which, to be honest with you, it's just efficiency as far as I'm concerned.
There are plenty of women that are not terminally online.
The thing is like, you know, it's the fact he announced it to his stream that that's what he was going to go and do. He was drunk out of his face and talked about pissing into a drain in his basement. Just use the toilet, man. Like, what the fuck? Are you an animal or something? At least it wasn't in a bottle.
In fact, I find people who are terminally online to be the least happy in life.
Yes, they're always comparing themselves to everyone else's highlights, not realizing that their lives are imperfect as well. Only seeing like, oh, their new Ferrari, oh, this trip that they're on, oh, their designer bags. They're like, why does my life suck so much? Everyone else is doing great because no one's posting.
Did he shit himself?
That's such a great point. Yeah, online you see that's a really great point to end on. That when you're looking at somebody, they're
pissing in the shower is also degenerate behavior. Piss in the fucking toilet. What? Yes, no words. Yeah, that's also fucking weird.
Posting the best in them. They're not posting the time they, you know, crap their pants at a Walmart because Qdoba undercooked their chicken. They're not posting pictures of the time they missed their rent. They're only posting what happens to them in good. And I want to again thank. I'm here with Kate Amouranth. And you can find all of her links at downbad.com, which is linked in the description below.
I'm honestly starting to wonder, is this some sort of paid promotion that Amouranth has paid TheQuartering for promotion or something? Jesus. Jeremy is painful to watch during these interviews. Stumbling through thoughts and questions or interrupting his guests makes for a tedious watch. Fuck me.
She creates a lot of content, even if you don't want to partake in spicy content. She streams like all the time. She's literally terminally online, and you can find her, and you can find that there's a lot more depth to this individual than maybe you expected. And you know, I don't say that to be like, it sounds like a backhanded compliment. I knew that there's more to it because as a content creator, I'm looking, you know, like I've been in her DM.
Yeah, let's see what she's up to at the moment. Well, very typical white woman activity being engaged in at the moment, as you can see. Okay, we need to... Earlier it was even worse, honestly, but
DMs and never requested nudes. You know, I ask her like actual business questions or things of that nature, because I'm like, damn, this person has an audience and they're really monetizing it. But also, thank you so much for coming on and sharing your opinion. And
thanks for having me. It was fun.
Yeah, it was fun and educational for me too. And I hope you have a good weekend. Anything you wanna shout out before you head out? I'm probably gonna stay live for a little bit and let everyone yell at me for platforming an e-girl. So anything you wanna any parting wisdoms to
I just saw that link you shared. Isn't there a Reddit called Sink Pissers? And it's like people that piss in a sink and get some joy out of it. And they post pictures. And they post pictures of themselves pissing in the sink. And it's like a whole thing. And it's like a whole subculture centered around wanting to piss in a sink. So weird. Reddit is so fucked for some of this stuff. Like, I don't know, like, if you want to piss in the sink, I guess that's fine if that's your thing. But, like, you do it with shame. You'd surely do it with shame and think, God, I can't believe I did that. That was really degen behavior. But they've created a whole environment where they're like, actually, not only is it acceptable, it's actually good to piss in the sink, and you should do it too.
share with people?
First of all, I saw some comments being like troll when I mentioned the vagina yeast beer. It's not a troll. I thought it was a first.
I 100% believe you.
It's a real thing.
Yeah.
It's a real thing, and it's happening.
Yeah, well, they'll see it because I'll replace the Virtual Boy with a case of the Amouranth yeast beer, and thank you so much for coming on. If you ever need anything, obviously, sometimes people can't interact with me publicly because they take a lot of backlash. I get that, but I hope that you'll see that I'm a pretty regular dude.
No, yeah, you seem pretty regular.
Oh my God, man. What's going on? Is he trying to fucking rizz her up here? Well, you'll see I'm just a very regular kind of guy, honestly. Just a very regular dude. Just kind of chill. You'll see how cool I am. Let's talk a bit more. People apparently saying he's divorced. I'm starting to believe the schizo conspiracies.
I find that about most content creators. When you talk to them, you realize, they're actually normal. It's
Sink pissers in chat, coping and shitting.
A lot of times, since I'm a content creator too, when articles post something about what they're doing, it's like one thing they said, a lot of times out of context, a lot of times not taking sarcasm or satire, or looking at the piece and evaluating it from why this works as a content perspective. They just are like, oh, you're bad and I hate you because you said this thing this one time. Like, so now I get it.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Well, best of luck to you. Make sure you hook me up with a case of that vag yeast beer. I'm looking.
Just to be clear, you guys, it's not me, not my idea. It's a drink company that approached me, and I'm just.
Please, Queen, let me taste your yeast, dude. What has happened to Jeremy? The quartering. What's he doing? Please, Queen, just a little taste of the amber nectar of your yeast vaginal beer. Just a little sip upon your divine yeast.
Well, that
I'm entertaining it.
Well, I think you should do it. I mean, I think, when you have an audience, hey, that woman did very good selling her bathwater, for crying out loud. This is like on another level.
Guys, it's happening. There's still 10 minutes left. He's about to turn it round. He's just lulling her into a false sense of security, and then he's going to hit her with the hard questions about the husband. He's going to ask her about her taking advantage of that fella that thought she wasn't married. He's going to get into all the good stuff.
You could well, I won't go down that road. Thank you so much for coming on. Have a great Friday. Have a good weekend. I appreciate you so much.
Thanks for having me. Have fun with Roseanne. Good luck.
I will. Thanks. Okay. That was Amouranth. Thank you everyone for checking her out. I thought it was
no. What's this?
I thought it was a fun conversation.
Stand up, Jeremy. Yeah, let's go.
To talk about. I saw I was getting shredded in the comments, but let me say this: you have to bring people on who are interesting, and I think, I find it very, maybe it's just because I'm a content creator and I'm my perspective is a little bit different about it. But I had a great time talking to her, and I think there's a lot of interesting things to be said about it. The Ultimate Fox, thank you for the super sticker. Ministry of Wrong Thing. Do you still have to wear a life vest while you're swimming in the ocean, or do they make you naturally float face up? See, I can't ask her that. Yeah, I think.
Well, no, but that's an absurd question. Obviously, you don't ask stuff like that, but at least ask a couple of questions about some of the controversies. And don't just give her the answer straight away and ramble on. Oh, God, that was just, yeah. Disappointing. I was expecting a bit more. Why not? Because it's like a stupid meme question, isn't it? It's just dumb. Anyway,
I think she was
anything
good.
else?
And if like you're mad about it, like I understand. We can interview Roseanne in 30 minutes. How about that?
Pin post on r/sink pisser says, please stop posting nudity. Guys, this is a post for pissing in the sink. It's not about nudity, okay? Pissing in the sink, A-okay, but nudity is where we draw the line. We're not that kind of subreddit, okay?
Hold on, let me check. So we have Roseanne Barr coming up.
Prostitutes are not interesting.
You know, I think that a lot of
Quartering's
people...
a cuck.
You're 100% right to have whatever opinions that you have about it, but I'm really glad she came on. I found it very insightful and interesting. MetaPC says, promised a hot tub stream. Will Kincaid says, this Simpfest is brought to you by Coffee Brand Coffee. Hypercritical Brit says, I literally just gagged and vomited at the same time you made me vomit. Hypercritical Brit, Jeremy, please tell me you realize you let it slip that you're subscribed to OnlyFans. No, I'm not. I'm not subscribed to anybody's OnlyFans. I don't even know how to use it.
Sure. Sure, Jeremy.
He also said Twitch and OnlyFans aren't a million miles.
The thing is like, yeah, obviously, I could maybe believe he's not subscribed to OnlyFans, but why say I don't know how to use it as if it's like some fucking ancient technology that you can't possibly figure out? Like, that just seems like an excessive element that makes it seem like a lie. Oh, I just don't know how to use that thing. Jesus, how would you possibly use a thing where you subscribe to people on the internet? That sounds very confusing. Something I wouldn't use. So definitely don't know how to use it. You would just be like, oh no, I don't actually use OnlyFans. Very suspicious. Amaranth is a millionaire. Quartering probably got like 20k for this interview. Believe me, I've tried. It's not even, listen, it's not even about just being harsh to her or calling her a slut, as funny as that would be. I'm not necessarily, but at least just like putting a few questions to her that are a bit more challenging than just like, oh, you've got a gas station, you're so based, queen, you're so good at business, aren't you? Like, at least just ask something about something that's controversial about her.
Apart. They're predatory markets. They're to profit off simps. Amouranth is just another grifter. Sorry, but true. Hey, but so am I, right? Sacred Zephyr says, because you rustled my jimmies with that intro, now do the grift. Cold brew, Coffee Brand Coffee, Blueberry Cobbler is the best. Go check it out.
Yes, this was definitionally a Homelander interview, wasn't it? Definitely.
Everybody. Thank you. Jonathan says, I'm sorry, guys. This force will turn us all into simps with tonight's interview. It must repel the part is nice. I'm glad that she came on. I really am.
I'm so glad my queen was here.
That mold you were talking about in her Twitch. Also, Rumble is better than YouTube chat. I'm saying. And
oh my god, imagine the Rumble chat on this one. I bet they were fucking spitting feathers over this. I bet they were furious. Also, I bet about 25% of them were talking about Jews, I guess, as well.
Laura Lyon says, Amouranth, there's compelling evidence out there on Reddit and YouTube, Chud logic, that you scam your fans on OnlyFans. Can you tell us why you feel comfortable scamming them at scales that you did? Oh, I didn't see that. If it was more specific, I probably
that's so weird. That was that chat that I spotted earlier.
Would have asked. I'm unaware.
Chud is worldwide in the incel community. It's only because I've got one video. Well, I've got a couple of videos about Amouranth, but one video was about the fact that she does like dodgy titles on her videos and stuff like that. So yeah, exactly. They're like citing me like I'm a source for it. Chud Logic et al. Or whatever.
I don't know what the scam would be. You know?
Yeah, because you don't know research. Watch my video, you lazy fucking schmuck, and you'll know what the scam is.
You know, I'm not sure what the scam would be. So I'm texting back and forth right now with Roseanne Barr And she wasn't feeling great this morning, so we might have to do the interview tomorrow. Oh, I'm gonna know soon. Oh, she just texted. Okay, hold on.
Oh, is this it? Is this all this is now?
Yeah, sounds like it's gonna get moved to tomorrow.